Blitz from a corner. And Knowles, nice job to find him on the slant. Knowles still on his feet and in for the score.
Overty to the right here.
Wojak gets to the corner and in. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Medina High School here at Ken Dukes Stadium here at Medina High School. Joined by Nick Kaplak for the 23-24 season, and what a great way to kick off the season here. A great matchup from a team from Columbus.
Absolutely. You know, it comes down, you have a tale of two quarterbacks that we were talking earlier that are candidates for Mr. Football, and Danny Stoddard and the quarterback Grunkmeyer.
Yeah.
And you know, looking at that, when you look at the game, you have two quarterbacks actually go to the same quarterback coach, the same offseason training, the same everything. And then, you know, you brought up earlier about a little bit of the Penn State connection, too.
If you look at, he's a 2024 commit to Penn State. We'll be following in the shoes of Drew Aller and providing competition for Drew when he heads there, I'm sure. But if you look at the game film, like you talked about, you can see that same coaching philosophy. You can see how they deliver the football, the poise in the pocket. It's mirror images from Drew to him to Danny. You can just see the same form here. So it's going to be a great matchup to watch these two compete and go head-to-head. Tail of the tape, they come in the same. Ethan at 6'2", 190. Danny is 6'2", 183. So right there, about the same size. Looking great. Both have their standards. Ethan coming in as a 4-star standout. And looking forward to see what he can bring here tonight. Threw for 444 yards, 3 TDs, and rushed for 1 last week. But to answer that, Danny Stoddard answers right back, 32 of 48, 420 yards, and 4 TDs of his own. Also added a 30-yard touchdown run to his resume last week.
It's becoming the norm here, though, Jared. It's like we were talking earlier, a group of people were sitting around talking, and we were talking about last week's game, and it's like, you know, Danny Stoddard has a great game, but we have been kind of hypnotized into thinking that these great games are just average games. And that's kind of neat because the bar just keeps going up at that quarterback position. And I think tonight, you know, when I looked at a little bit of game film on, you know, with Olentangy's line, you know, versus Medina's line, I think Danny Stoddard, you know, he has the ability to have a huge game today, more so than Olentangy's quarterback, just because Medina's defense is a little bit more seasoned. They're definitely more aggressive, and so when you look at both teams, you're looking at, you know, can Olentangy step it up and play an aggressive style football tonight? If they can't, I have a feeling this is going to be really lopsided in the favor of Medina.
Yeah, that defense is going to have to answer the call because Medina doesn't just have 1, 2. They have up to 9 receiver weapons they can go to given in a game. So you can't just lock down, as we talked about last year. You just can't lock down on one receiver because Danny's going to find the other ones and find him the football.
Well, and don't be surprised, and we have, you know, maybe been a little shocked, you know, 3 years ago where Coach Laird gets into a power run game out of nowhere, because when you look at the film of Olentangy and you look at the box, you know, Medina, I think's offensive line can really push that front around. So don't be surprised if you see Coach Laird, you know, do a 180 and all of a sudden you're running the ball.
And you know that's something he loves to do. You see Medina taking the field there. He loves to wear the other team down, and that's what you just said there. You establish a run game and just pound and grind that football, and by that 3rd and 4th quarter, you've worn out that defensive line, and then you can attack them in the air.
Yeah, right. And again, you know, back, and I know we have the phenomenal passing game, phenomenal quarterback, great receivers, good line, but you also have Wojak and Josephic who can carry the ball. So you have another 1-2 punch in the backfield. So this could get very interesting, and you never know with Coach Laird. That's what you got to love about him. You know, he's very unpredictable. And what are you trying to do if you're a defensive coordinator? You're trying to predict things, and you're trying to figure out what the offense is going to do, and he's just very unpredictable at times. There's other times where he'll just tell you what he's running and go, hey, try to stop it.
Exactly. I'm going to throw my best at you, and it's your job to adjust. Now, the one thing to watch here, too, Olentangy, not as solid on special teams. Gave up a 99-yard kickoff return last week, and we've got the weapons back there in Jack Wojak that can make him pay.
Right, and if you know, we've seen the last couple of years, if Medina starts with decent field position, it's almost a score each time. And if you can get them inside the 20, inside the 10, which probably is not going to happen on a kickoff with the wheels that we have back there, you know, you're looking at a long day. And you know, if you look at Olentangy's team, it really comes down to, you know, a three-man show. A three-man band, you know, with Grunkmeyer. They have a big tight end, Grover, who is a scholarship kid. He is 6'6", 240 as a tight end. So he's tall, definitely going to be open because it's very hard to cover the sky when you're 6'7" and you're 240.
Yeah.
So you're going to be, you know, any of that short stuff to the tight end, you get in a 3rd and 4, that's a great place to go. And also Wiley. So they have 3 guys that are standout athletes, but it's going to come up to their supporting cast. And I think Medina really doesn't have any holes this year. I think all around you're looking at a very solid team.
And one hole you can see right there on the sideline in sweats is Noah Nunn going down to injury this week and looking for that next man to step up. Coach confidence of his depth on that front line, ready to step up to accept the challenge. But first it's going to be the Medina offense. Having the ball first as Olentangy won the kick and they deferred. Both teams coming in 1-0. Olentangy beat Toledo Whitmer 46-35 last week, and Medina coming off a win against Stowe 48-18.
Well, action about to start here at Medina. First of the year for the home game.
First kick high and in the air, going to be fielded. They're both called for it. Fielded at the 10 and looking for some space up the middle, trying to bounce it to the outside and wrapped up and brought down. That was Talon Holvey.
Talon Holvey takes up to the 30. That's a good place to start for the Bees. A really good place to start. Anything, you know, 30 moving forward is going to be a great place to start. You brought up Nunn, Jared. That's a really, you know, they're big shoes to fill. Confident. You know, this team always believes in next man up, and they're going to try to fill those shoes. But that's like in the NFL losing a Garrett or losing a Watt or somebody like that, because he has such a high impact on every single game.
And it's always fun to see how defenses line up against this Medina offense. You've got looks like a 3-3 there, don't they? With the 3 linebackers, 3 linemen.
Yep, sure looks like a 3-3 stack here.
They're making a lineman come out on the first play, not sure why. Coach trying to get a sub in there real quick.
Looks like Curtis Hartman entered the game.
For Pete Jarvis, I'm not sure.
Pete Jarvis comes out, Curtis Hartman goes in.
Bring a man in motion.
Curtis, a big sturdy lineman.
Stepping in, a double pass here, coming right out of the gate.
That's
there
a
it is.
touchdown.
It's away, he's got a man open. Oh, he couldn't hold on to it. The play was drawn up perfectly, and getting behind was Cameron Hathaway. He was open, and it was incomplete. The ball thrown a little soft. I don't think he quite had his hand on the football when he threw it.
I think it's one of those situations where the wide receiver was so wide open that you don't want to overthrow him, but you know, you kind of accidentally underthrow him. But there was nobody, nobody on the receiver.
If he led him, that was 6. You're absolutely right. That's one they wish they could have back. So they'll come back to the line now, 2nd down and 10.
Medina with quads at the top of the screen, single receiver trying to isolate already.
And right there, they're one-on-one out to Knowles. He catches it. Looked like a gain of 8 as he's trying to shake a tackle. As he was brought back, we'll see where they mark it.
I love it. You've got quads. You had quads top of the screen. You got Knowles at the bottom of your screen. And again, you're trying to get 4 receivers. You got the safeties shifting over to the quads, and you have a little bit of an isolation. That's when, you know, Olentangy on the whiteboard is making the figure 8, putting their corner on an island.
Snap out all day here for Danny Stoddard to look. The rush coming in late. He steps up, shakes 1 tackle, gets out of bounds. He'll gain 2 on the carry. He'll bring up a 4th and 2. Oh, no, 4th and 3 off the spot.
Preston Finn putting on the pressure.
Thought he got a little bit more, but yes, looking at a 4th and 3. I'm loving the new digital down marker over there. Real easy to see.
And again, Medina not afraid to go for it on 4th down. That's showing the faith in the defense here. See if they try to draw a hard count and get them off sides. Play clock down to 12. Stoddard looking to keep, trying to find his way behind those big offensive linemen. Dives forward, first down.
Nice job by Danny Stoddard. That forward momentum, if you stay low and you fall forward, you're almost always guaranteed 3 yards. He stayed very patient, got behind his guard, kind of slithered through, knew where the sticks were. It's a veteran move by Stoddard.
Ball at the 44. Swing it out. Little wide receiver screen. Works his way ahead for a gain of 3 on the reception.
Wojak getting that first down when you pick up 3 or 4, the positive yardage. And again, all these plays that we've seen over the last couple years, you can get a first down just about any time, score a touchdown just about any time. Wojak there picking up 3, 2nd and 7.
Coach Laird sends in the play from the sideline.
Again, they're coming out in a 3-by-2, 5 wide.
Get a false start. Oh no, yep, they're going to throw it. Just a quick flinch there. That's going to go against number 77, Pete Jarvis. Now let's see if they keep this.
And he'll probably come right to the side. Well,
no, you know what? I think that might have been something on the quarterback there. Because
okay.
you saw Coach turn around and get on Danny about that. Not the line. Usually the routine is that happens, you're coming out of the game.
They don't even hesitate. They sprint right to the sideline. A little bit of a change in the play. Looking at 2nd and 12 now. Stoddard getting a canned little motion here with Wojak.
Fakes the flip, fires it down the middle, wide open. Knowles makes the reception inside Brave territory down to the 25-yard line.
Just enough on the play action flip to get just a little bit of pause in the secondary and free Knowles up down the seam.
So ball placed at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Go to that fake again, looking down the middle, sees a man wide open, off his fingertips, intended for Braden Walker. Just had it go through the gloves there as he reached up for it.
Braden Walker got behind the coverage there going down the seam. You're looking at this, basically the same play to the other side, trying to get a safety to freeze, bite just for a second so you can get yourself just inside the seam and turn that speed on.
Stoddard sets back up again. 3 wide receivers to his left, 2 to the right. Looking right, nothing there. Comes back across the middle on a little move by Wojak. Catches it coming across the middle and works it down to the 15-yard line.
Stoddard
close to a first down. See if they'll move the chains.
Right, Stoddard there worked from right to left. He checked his number 1 receiver, went to his number 2 receiver. So, you know, going with his little bit of rhythm, and if that's not open, picking up a read.
Now you got one man on the island by himself. That's Knowles. We'll see if they go one-on-one again over here. They're not sliding the safety over, so it is a one-on-one matchup. Coach, I think, saw that, sent the play into Stoddard. Let's see if they go that way.
Yep, isolated.
Yep, there it is. You can see the one-on-one, and they love that matchup. They'll try to take advantage of that all day.
Number 2, Austin Knowles, brought down by Will Bartley, number 10.
Knowles just running a little stop inside the coverage. I mean, if you're a corner on an island there, you have to respect the fade. So anything underneath is going to be a 99%er.
Now they're bringing that safety over to help shade him on that side now. So now you have the mismatch on the left side of the field. They don't have enough players. Now they got to bring the safety over because of that. And good catch by Stoddard. Knowles is going to block for him. Is it going to be enough? Goes out of bounds. Should have the first down to make it 1st and goal.
It's going to be
driven out of bounds by Will Bartley, number 10.
1st and goal from the 3.
Sending in their big lineup here. I think you're going to see the running formation here. That power backfield, as we like to call it. So if they don't have personnel, that could be a problem here. 20 seconds on the play clock.
This is, you know,
they got all 10. They're
1st and goal from the 3. If you have to burn one, you can burn one. Now in the mid to late 90s, we would call this a spread formation, but not quite now with 2 receivers spread
play
out.
Clock was running out, so Coach Laird had to take the timeout.
Timeout called by Medina.
Looked like they were setting up in a power eye backfield with a little bit of motion there.
You like to see this. This has been a good drive for Medina. I know that's kind of taken the NFL approach. Danny didn't have a lot of work in the early scrimmages this season. You want to keep him healthy and working. So last week was really his first big go-around of being in the action. Threw that interception in the first drive against Stowe down at the 4-yard line. So a good way for him to come out here, having 1 week under his belt, a full week of practice, kind of getting back into the flow of things here.
Right. It's the speed of the game. You know, if you haven't seen the scrimmage action, you haven't seen enough reps at the full speed. It's takes a little bit to get used to that speed. And right now he's nailing his reads and hitting the open receivers.
Let's see what the power backfield can do here.
The
Put the man in motion.
guy.
It's the fake. He's looking to throw. Gets rid of it as he's hit. Good hands defensively on the inside there. That was number 10, Will Bartley, jump in front of that pass.
Number 2, Will Bartley breaking up the pass.
And the other one is that internal clock that a quarterback has. That takes a little time to.
He felt that pressure coming
Right.
behind him on that one, and maybe had him throw it a half beat too early.
But it's a good thing he got it out there because that was a free sprint to the quarterback from
You would think this is 4-down territory, so that was a good opportunity to take advantage of that there. I think we're going to see him run it this time, though. And there's the pitch. Wojak cuts it back and gets into the end zone easily from 3 yards out.
Well, that drive, Jared, has told us a lot. And what I mean by that is the Medina Bees are able to run down the seams. They're able to split coverage. They're able to get inside the safeties. They're doing it with a little play action fake. And the line, the right side of the line right there just caved in Olentangy and had a lot of surge. So some big takeaways right there to put on the chalkboard.
And I didn't see too many double teams going on in the secondary either.
And that's to your point there. There's a lot of, right now a lot of out formations where you're throwing different formations out there and you're using motion. It makes it really tough to have those double teams.
The kicker just came off. Not sure what's happened here. The officials did something. They're calling the offense out quickly. They're going to go for 2. Not sure what happened. Why the back judge said something. The kicker ran off, and here comes the offense back on.
And the ball's still on the 3.
And the officials are still talking. I'm not sure.
It's not like somebody jumped. The ball's still on the 3. I'm not sure what happened.
So in for the 2-point conversion. Stoddard with the fake, tries to keep it himself, and he's going to get wrapped up and taken down. So the 2-point conversion, no good.
Stoddard keeping the ball.
So keep an eye on how vital that point is here.
Score remains 15.
So we have a 6-0 lead by the Medina Bees. 8:48 left to play here in the first quarter.
The replay here on the touchdown run. See the pitch out, and just a wide open lane they left, and he could just walk into the end zone.
He and his family, who have traveled over 4,000 miles today from their home in Germany's
excellent block put on. P.J. Harrison was knocked back about 5 yards on that one. You have a defensive back coming up and doing linebacker duty.
I want to thank all of you tuned in, watching on Facebook as well as YouTube here tonight, and also watching the replay on Medina TV, channel 201. So glad to have everyone here.
Getting ready for the kick here. Olentangy has 2 deep. 4 guys perched around the 30 and 25-yard line in their front 5. Waiting at the 50.
Now, also another thing, Whitmer was able to convert an onside kick against Olentangy in I believe, the second quarter of their matchup. Smart move by Olentangy to let that one go out of bounds. Didn't take the hop Medina was looking for. And it'll give Olentangy a good start on this drive.
Right, that kick had a little bit of spin on it. It was a little bit lower, and Jackson Wiley, who is an electric player, chose to let that go out of bounds. Wouldn't have had much room on that sideline, but That might be something Medina's trying to do, trying to keep the ball on the inside one of the hashes to take away some of that open room.
They declined it, so they're going to kick it again, it looks like.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because they would have had, I forget on high school, is it the 30 or the... They're just going to move them back the 5 yards and make them kick again.
This is a great time for an onside kick. Nobody's expecting an onside kick here.
I think it's Coach Sutherland out there now working on them.
The ball will be
Boy, if you see how they're lined up right now, 85's giving a good, 10 yards to the sideline there?
He is, and yes, he's all the way on the hash. I mean, trying to, anything over to this side would be very hard for Olentangy to recover.
But again, your faith in your defense. Probably want to kick this one away early in the game.
And now you have, just about anywhere this is kicked. And what's interesting is, well, you're trying to get Jackson Wiley the ball here if you're Olentangy and trying to make him get some open space. And
Donnie Taylor here up to kick this one. And he puts a foot into it. Line drive, fielded at the 30. Runs into his own man twice. Still trying to find an avenue to go. Good contain on the outside there. We always talk about that contain, and that's what happened right there with number 24, Brian Wookter, getting in there and great contain.
Right, and you'll hear all practice, the phrase, do your job. Even if it looks like you can go in and make a great tackle, do your job. If you're the contain guy, nobody gets outside of you, and it's just that reason. You have a guy, in a big pile of shirts, and all of a sudden he comes out of the wash on the other end, and if you're doing your job, you can make a play. And that was a good play by Cole Kirshner to catch that ball on a line drive and make something happen with it.
Now you're going to see Ethan Grunkmeyer, the 2024 commit to Penn State. Very similar to Aller and Stoddard as you watch him play. Very solid with his footwork and very accurate with the arm. He leads the receivers everywhere they want to be. So defense is going to put a pressure on him as they try that time. And there's that deep ball to the receiver. And just as I say that, just overthrows the outstretched hands of Andrew Leach, who caught the 84-yarder to start the game against Whitmer last week.
I mean, that pass just got away from him, about a foot too far. But what was interesting, if, watching that first play, you're seeing Medina maybe giving up their game plan here. They're overloading one side. They're going to rush the quarterback to his non-throwing side. They're overloading, and they're bringing pressure. They're bringing linebackers. So Medina bringing, looks like 7 guys possibly this time. All 7 go.
They set up that screen. Got to make a good open field tackle there to slow him down. He's going to dance ahead for the first down. Completed the Jackson Wiley.
And when you bring 7 guys, you have to have a lot of trust in your secondary. A lot of your corners and safeties are going to be manned up. That's all that's left.
Ball to the Medina 46.
Seeing some ultra-aggressive defense here.
They go to the ground game. Big opening up the middle. Good for about a 6-yard gain. That was number 13 on the carry, Riley Clarkson.
To Riley Clarkson, number 13.
And a hurry up to the line quickly.
Picks up about 8 yards before he stopped.
Called a 7-yard gain.
And Talon Hovey.
Krunkemeyer draws him offside with the hard count, and you see him coming off right away.
Right, Cooper Estes got a little bit, little over anxious right there.
And he's going to be replaced by Dylan Forster. Move the ball 5 yards.
So interesting, Medina bringing 7, then bringing 7, then bringing 6, and you have a run there, so you might be keeping your linebackers home now if they want to, Olentangy wants to balance things out.
Linebackers in again.
Trying to read the defense, see what's going on. Audible out, call the play at the line.
Defense, same audible there. Secondary talking here in coverage. And there's that quick out to 87.
Pass complete to number 87.
Gavin Grover.
Gavin Grover.
And that time Medina sent 5.
Gain of 7 on the play, bringing a 2nd and 3. Now that time that running back came out of the backfield wide open. Hopefully the coaches caught that and make the correction if they go back to that play again.
Now, Olentangy comes out with trips to the field. They've got Wiley to the boundary, maybe trying to isolate him, but I'm sure the safety's taking a peek over there as well. And they are isolating him.
Boy, they had him on this other side, though, too. As that one was thrown incomplete. And we have a flag down, though, so let's see. Is that going to be, it looks like area of either roughing or a hold. Let's see what we get.
Jackson Wiley. Darnell Davis, number 4, breaking it up.
Darnell Davis on the coverage there. That is a lonely spot to be out there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer against Medina.
That's a big one. You know, we've seen it on both sides now where you overload the field, you put maybe your number 1 receiver in the boundary, you isolate him, you get man coverage. Here it is here.
Let's take a look here. Oh, I couldn't see it. There's someone coming in at the last second on that throw.
Personal foul.
It must have put him down to the turf.
Called against Medina.
So that moves him into the red zone. Ball will be placed, it looks like at the 12-yard line.
Seeing
already Medina's 3rd penalty. They very low penalties against Stowe last week.
Grunkmeyer's been a little bit too heavy on his passes.
There's the ground game. Big hole opened up the middle. And just following behind that wall of blockers in that Olentangy line was Riley Clarkson. He takes it down to the 2-yard line.
I was saying Grunkmeyer a little bit too deep on his passes. A couple of them, you know, you have a receiver open, you have something going on. And that's the kind of stuff as the game goes on where you kind of fine-tune and dial things in.
Now, just like Danny tried to show on our end, he can also be a person to carry the ball here as they go for their version of their power backfield.
And that's a straight old-school double-tight power eye with an ISO.
And going in for the 2-yard run, that is P.J. Harrison takes it in.
P.J. Harrison.
It's one of the best plays in football right there. One of the first you learn when you're a little kid. Double-tight power eye, and you're running an ISO right behind the power back and fullback. Hard to stop because there's a lot of bodies on that side of the line.
So let's see, they're going to line up for the extra point. And that extra point's good.
Jared, we're looking at a story there. You know, the takeaway from that drive, here we go. Here's the scoring play. You have the power back, fullback, and you just go right behind him.
Yeah, those two just led the way.
Braden Smeagol hanging on there, trying to get him from the backside. The takeaway you look at is you have some underneath passes. Olentangy took a couple shots, they overthrew, but they were able to run the ball effectively. When you're picking up 7-8 yards a carry, that's running the ball effectively, and that's something that you obviously want to start down or shut down the Division I quarterback, but if you're going to allow 7-8 yards a carry, that's something you have to definitely shore up and provide some additional support up in the box. The other thing is Medina just cannot shoot themselves in the foot like they did that drive with the penalties.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 big penalties. One, especially that roughing the passer that put Olentangy in great field position. It was an 8-play drive, 2:17 off the clock.
I'm not sure how close that one was. I didn't really get a good look at it.
Again, fielded at the 10. This time Wojak hesitates for a minute.
He's got a huge hole.
We've got a late flag in, 2 late flags. All the officials threw him in. So is this going to come all the way back, or are we going to get block on the back? It looks like he's signaling. And so that's going to bring a great return back. So again, the penalties coming up big for Medina right now.
When you see one flag, it's maybe you got a hand in the back. You see 2, you probably got him in the back. But when you see 3, you probably got him pretty good in the back when you see all the laundry on the field like that.
So the block in the back happened at the 23.
That's going to
And
really
it's gonna
sink
move
Medina
back.
back.
To, it looks like the 13. They should mark it.
We're sitting at 7-6 with 6:12 left in the first quarter. And obviously you want to score here, but you really want to get the ball to the other side of the 50, which makes things a lot easier if you were to turn the ball over on downs or anything happens. So these next 40 yards are critical.
Plenty of time back in the pocket, then gets wrapped up and brought down. He wanted to go to his receiver right away and had to tuck it in as he gets brought down.
Looks like
Dan Stoddard brought down in the backfield by number 87, Gavin Grover.
Looks like Gavin Grover with the tackle.
Yeah, 9-yard loss on that play. Puts him back at the 4-yard line. Now Stoddard in his own end zone. Nose guard got a huge rush on him that time. They blocked the screen. Great patience by Stoddard there, else that could have been even worse. The defensive end swung out there in that screen looking to pick it off. He pulled the ball back in and then it was able to reconnect with Wojak.
Well, when you have a guy like Wojak and you've played with him a year, or you maybe have played years with him when you're younger, but he being able to read Stoddard's face there and sneak back inside to find a little bit of room was an excellent job, because you're looking at throw it at the feet, or you're taking a sack.
See if they look to run across the middle here, right at the chain. Stoddard getting pressure again on the outside, gets rid of it, going deep. He's got Knowles. Knowles goes up. That should be a flag. Oh, he came back for it. No, there comes a flag.
Oh,
it was
we got
late.
a late flag from a mile away, and yes, definitely pass interference.
Oh, no, it's going to be a sideline
Are
warning.
you kidding me?
It's not going to be a flag for pass interference. It's going to be a flag for a sideline warning.
Sideline. Well, Knowles has every right to that ball. He was coming back for it. It was a little bit underthrown, and we've seen him make those catches
yeah.
time after time, where he comes back, jumps up, catches it at the highest point, but he really didn't have a chance there.
Is that one where he's going to make it more deliberate and make more contact with that DB coming back?
Possibly, but here it is. He was going up for the ball.
Sideline infraction called against Medina.
Yeah,
So,
clearly see him start to come
right
back for the ball.
right there is your pass interference. When the right arm gets into his chest when he's coming back, that is 10 out of 10 a
high
pass
snap.
interference.
Wojak able to get it and kicks it away. It's going to be good field position, though.
Nope.
As the ball takes the skip the wrong direction, Olentangy going to take over deep inside Medina territory, about the 33-yard line.
Now, if the defensive back was going up for the ball, that's a whole different story. But when he's planted on the ground and jams that right arm into Austin's chest as he's going up, that's a tough one.
It's a great field position here for Olentangy. This is similar to the punt that went awry against Stowe last week, where the defense had to answer the call as the ball actually got moved back here to the 35-yard line.
But definitely a tough call to make on the field by the official. I have the advantage. I'm watching it on replay here, so get to see it over and over.
Back to the ground game go the Braves. That time wrapped up after a short gain, getting in there on the tackle, Cooper Josephsick.
So Cooper J at the linebacker spot here, going to be looking to sniff out some runs.
There's a gain of about 3 on the play. Step down now, 2nd and 7 for the Braves. Grunkemeyer looks over, gets a call from the sideline. Now sets his back, Riley Clarkson off to his right. Takes the snap. He'll give it to Clarkson on that read pass option. And Clarkson shakes the first tackle, but then brought down by Josephsick again.
Number 13, Riley Clarkson. He stopped by Cooper Josephsick.
And that goes to the 26, a gain of 6. Makes it a 3rd and 1 here. So let's see. Again, I don't think they're a team that's afraid to go for it on 4th down. They go back on the ground here. They take a shot in the end zone.
Playing up.
We get a flag coming in. Offsides defense now. I think they got that on the cornerback. So again, penalties just crippling Medina right now.
And I think in that formation where you have the tight end set off into the backfield and you have short yardage, you know, that's a time that you're probably going to hit your 6-7 tight end. And now we're looking, the tight end just moved both guys up the line. So they actually have a trips to the right, so the tight end is eligible here.
He's down blocking, trying to seal the outside. And trying to stretch the play out, shaking tackles and still squirting his way back up the middle. Big run before being taken down inside the 10. What a heck of a run there by Riley Clarkson.
Ball carrier number 13.
He's going to take it down 1st and goal now for the Braves. Ball will be placed at the 7-yard line. Again, looks like he was going to get wrapped up right there and is able to shake that tackle and cut back. And look at the Braves blockers not giving up on the play, creating the extra space for him to make a great run. And now the Braves knocking at the door again. Ball at the 7. Quick give inside. This time a new running back, Preston Danner, gets the carry.
Preston Danner, number 33, the ball carrier.
John Estes on the tackle, coming up making a solid wrap.
Takes it down to the 4-yard line, gain of 3. Brings up a 2nd and goal. Bringing in Cooper Estes coming in, as is 39 Logan Peters to help shore up that front line.
John Estes with that last stop.
Setting up in that power eye.
Got to watch that tight end releasing here, though. Up they go on the ground. Good pursuit by the Bees. Can he get to the corner, though? Wrapped up and taken out of bounds. He's going to be short of the goal line.
Going to be 3rd and about 6 inches. Inside the 1.
Number 8, Cole Kirshner's on the carry.
John Estes with the stop.
That ball's at the 1 now. 3rd and goal. Can the Bees answer the call here and get that push on that front line? They've been working it hard on the outside with these power backfields.
1-yard line to be.
You do QB keep up the middle here?
Well, 3rd and 1. You could call just about anything here. You have 2 shots at it.
I'd watch a QB on this one, keeping it. Nope, there's the give to that back, and he just dances his way in for his 2nd score of the night. That's P.J. Harrison.
I'll tell you, P.J. Harrison danced away from Cooper Josephic. Cooper Josephic came up to the hole pretty hard, and, you know, he kind of made that read, good vision, and took off to the right. And now we're seeing Olentangy with a pretty steady diet of run right now.
Whistles, flag comes in, and is it going to be against Medina? Yet another penalty. So now Olentangy's going to, I bet you they're going to go for two with the ball being moved up.
They're going to be on the 1.5-yard line. They're going to bring the offense back in. And sitting at 13-6 with 1:51 left to play here in the 1st quarter.
And this is actually the first time I think we've seen the sun all day long, popping out right now.
I mean, if you took the over/under here, Jared, you're on track because we're sitting at 80, and I would say it would be about 78 in this game.
Yeah,
these two teams.
It's play action. He's bootlegging it, and totally great bootleg fake. I mean, I tell you. You had Taylon Holvey looking in the backfield as the quarterback went by him. He just totally missed that bootleg. And taking advantage of the Medina penalty, the Braves come away with a 2-point conversion.
Right, that was well done. That was Manning-esque on that, where the ball was totally hidden, and you're selling out on the run. You're on the 1.5-yard line, one play.
Here you go, watch this.
You see a boot.
You're going to see that play fake. Oh, no, this is the touchdown, sorry. It was so good we don't have to replay. They faked out our cameraman as well on that boot. That was just a perfectly run bootleg. And again, that line, they're following those lead blockers in that power backfield, and we haven't been able to penetrate past those blockers on those short yardage runs.
Olentangy is playing a very disciplined game right now.
Well, thanks to some gifts from Medina. Again, 2 penalties in that drive.
Just got an update. Medina has 7 penalties in the first quarter for 46 yards.
Yeah, and I look back last week.
And
they had 2 penalties for 10 yards last week.
And 2 times.
That ball's going to be down because his knee hit the ground. So again, special teams mistake as Wojak went down to catch that, put his knee down, and the Bees are pinned deep once again.
It just does not seem like anything's going Medina's way right here. That ball just kind of took a knuckleball spin, dropped a little bit. Wojak goes down to get it. Sun pretty much right in his face. Hit on a line. Actually, if you look out over the horizon there, probably sitting right where that ball was kicked. So last minute goes down to get it and drops on a knee. So we're sitting on the 4-yard line. It's going to take 96-yard drive here with 1:48 left.
Which this team's capable of doing. We just got to get a couple of passes and plays to get the chains moving and get this team back in rhythm.
You have a bunch formation here.
They kick it out to Wojak. Wojak, nice little cutback move to get a couple extra yards and a little breathing room for this Bees offense.
Yeah. That's a great play on first down when you're pinned in. It's high percentage. You've got your bunch out there. You've got 3-4 blockers out there. If you get to the edge, even if you don't break the edge, you're going to push your way for positive yardage.
Goes the Medina 12, gain of 8 on the play for Wojak. So now some space for Stoddard to work. Second and short here for the Bees. Takes the snap, looks right, still looking downfield. Now fires across the middle, has Wojak on that cut across the middle. Tried to shake the tackle, get it up to about the 31-yard line. First down for the Bees.
Jared, credit to that offensive line right there. You can't make deep crossing routes work unless you have a lot of time. And it took Wojak, a good amount of time to get across the field and get open. He was covered early in the route, but was able to break free.
Yeah, how many checks did Stoddard get to go through there as he watched through?
At least 4.
Yeah, that's that mental toughness from Stoddard. And they go to the wide receiver screen. Completed. Right on top of that are the Olentangy players. That was 4 and 20 for Olentangy. That's Omar Ja and number 20, Will Yankee.
And those wide receiver screens, sometimes they work and you get 4-6 yards. Sometimes you get the right cut. Good things happen. But what they also do when you lose a yard or you don't gain anything is they're setting up different things later on. Wide receiver screen is going to set up so much. One little pump fake, and if you're getting very aggressive on defense, you have the deep ball open.
So now 2nd and 12 for the Bees, going across the middle again, going for Knowles, hit him right on stride, right before the safety could get there, and right between the cornerback and the safety, he threaded the needle, hits Knowles, first down there in Brave territory.
You could not run a better route, and you could not throw a better throw than what you just seen there. That pitch and catch was absolutely perfect.
And the timing was dead on, you're exactly right. Takes it to the Brave 37, and we're back. Taking a shot for the end zone now. Wojak trying to split it again. This time the safety's over there in time as he tried to float it above the safety. Couldn't do it, and we get the interception.
They're giving him the touchback there. They're going to take it out to the 20.
Pass intercepted by number 34, Caden Gephardt.
Not all lost on that drive. You started at the 3. You flipped the field. We're taking... it ends on a touchback, so not all lost there. Taking your shots deep. That one just got there a little bit late. Had a little bit of too much air under it.
Now the officials are going to talk. I didn't think he was in the end zone, did you?
I didn't, but I don't have a really good view from how far away I am.
If we have it all or not. I thought when he caught it, he was not down in the end zone.
He looked like he's right at the 2-yard line, slid.
Or was his momentum? I didn't even think was carrying him in, but could be wrong on that.
Yeah, if I were to make a call on it, I would say his knee was down around between the 2 and 1 yard line.
That's what I thought too.
But I am biased, Jared, and
Well, I saw him intercepted, so I didn't even think about it being a touchback as he went down. I just thought he was brought down there at the 1.
Coach Laird's making his way out to the field to figure it out.
They're switching the balls out, and they're coming backwards. So
moving them back.
Yep, that's a good job by the officials to come and discuss that. There you see it. You see him rolling. He's on his back before he even got to the goal line there. The Kias did a knee come down before the back or anything like that.
Yeah, that's inconclusive on the replay there.
Have to catch a little earlier there to see, but now this is a good. There you see it. There you see it. The arm and the elbow down at the one. Definitely the right call there by the official. Good job by our replay crew there.
Great shot, guys. And this is going to be interesting. This is where you get your missed extra point back right here.
Snap back, trying to bust to the outside like they have on those 2 touchdown carries. And look at that push by the offensive line there. They're going to push him out to the 9-yard line.
And this Olentangy line is playing aggressive on their run game. We have a person down here, player down.
We still have 3 seconds left. Can't make out the number. Well, they're moving like it's a switch in quarters, but there's still 3 seconds on the clock. That's 39 down on the field. That's Logan Peters getting looked at, the senior defensive lineman for the Bees.
Peters definitely had a hard charge there where he got some penetration past the line.
So I'm not sure. Did the officials call it the quarter? I mean, there's 3 seconds on the clock, and they've already run down to the other end.
Maybe they did just because of the maybe the clock's running. It's going to start. They're going to chop it here, and it's going to run out anyways.
Yeah, that could be what it is. Mr. Todd Hodke, our athletic director, working his way down. As they go to look over.
So we're sitting at 15-6. Here we go.
Let's see if we get a look on this push. He's already down back on the other side. A lineman on top of him. As it was number 39 that's down on the field, Logan Peters.
Yeah, couldn't really tell there, but Logan Peters, it looked like he had a nice, came off the ball pretty hard, and a lot of times you're coming off at an angle like that, and you can lose your footing on the turf.
Trying to see what they're looking at on him. Again, here we're going to see him. He'll be off on the right side of your screen here. Getting the push against the lineman. Oh, his own player, I think. His own player caught him with the back of his knee, and that's what took him down.
So, and he is wearing a knee brace on that knee. So, like left ankle, left knee, something like that. Hope he's okay. Getting walked off now.
Number 39, Logan.
Coach Laird saying something to at least get a laugh out of him.
Off the field.
Love that Coach Laird carrying the helmet off as he comes off the field. Nice to see him walking off on his own power here too. Sometimes you just get that roll up from behind and kind of got to regroup.
Yeah, you're fighting. I was wrong there. I thought he came around the outside. He was fighting a double team right there and holding his ground against 2 guys, and you get kind of chopped from behind.
So now we have the official change. You called it right. Exactly. They would
chop the clock,
the whistle,
let
and
the 3 go.
Clock, yep.
So 15-6. Going to be going into the second quarter here. Olentangy has the ball deep in their own end.
We would like to continue our thanks to the business sponsors.
And Jared, what we're seeing here is kind of, to me, unexpected. You have a great receiver. You have a top recruit quarterback, Division I quarterback, Penn State, and you are, after the first drive, looking at pounding the ball. Getting your run game going.
Right now, the Bees just have to cut back on the mistakes. They've kind of extended these drives and have been helping Olentangy out here with all the penalties here. Let's see if they can clean it up here in the second quarter. Again, the power backfield, and Olentangy going to this steady dose of the run. Like you said, they see something there, and they're going to try to work, because that's going to be close to a first down. And it is. I think they're signaling first down, moving the chains.
P.J. Harrison.
As Harrison makes the
ball
carry.
carrier on that last play.
When you're early in the season like this, and you're lining up power I, and you have a power back and a fullback coming at you, which you don't see often, in 2023, it can. Those are body blows. Those will wear on you.
Looks like the ball's placed at the 13-yard line. Now they're back to their aerial attack set. Run pass option, and it's given to the running back. Good pursuit that time. Fighting off the block and making the play there for the Bees was number 13, Cooper Estes, getting in there.
Cooper Estes, that's great football right there. Not taking a side, working your blocker, and as you're working your blocker, the running back Clarkson is kind of hiding behind him. You can't find him, and when he pops out, you're there to get him. He's waiting for you to take a side, and Estes didn't bite.
About a 2nd and 8 now. Got a whistle to stop play.
Got a little movement on the offense, I believe.
Let's hope so. I can't handle another Medina one.
Yeah, with a little twitch there, it's going to put them 5 down. So you're going to be looking like 2nd and 12.
So finally, the first penalty of the game goes against Olentangy.
Just a very minor bit of movement there, but picked up nicely by the officials.
Should put it back to the 10.
And here we have it again, where we have Darnell Davis and Jackson Wiley mano a mano.
Oh, you got that.
Would be the top of your screen to the boundary.
You got Grover up here too, the tall tight end in the middle of that trips. Good pursuit from behind as he's getting ready to break a big run. Oh, lost his shoe. I thought it was one of those ball markers, but it was his pink shoe that came loose.
Number 8, Talon Holby.
3rd down and 5. Definitely
Ball at the 18. Is that what it looks like? That's marked.
More than likely a passing situation here, unless you're going to go for it on 4th.
You need the 23 for the first down.
Or possibly run a screen.
Trying to read what the linebackers are doing. Right there, you see right there, they're trying to work the contain. They've been bouncing it off that tackle on the run, and the linebacker trying to get to the outside of that tackle to prevent that.
Really need to stay home on a screen. Okay.
Oh, nice move. I mean, that is just pure talent there on the part of Ethan Grunkmeyer.
Right, that was a quarterback counter there. You had half the line blocking down, you had a guard and tackle pulling, and it wasn't there, and he reversed fields and made something happen there.
We talked about that footwork earlier on in the broadcast. That's a good example of that footwork, able to sidestep that lineman that had him and work it ahead for a first down.
There was absolutely nothing there. He had to do all that on his own.
It's a great run there by the Olentangy quarterback.
Olentangy slowing the game down here methodically. 9 minutes left here in the quarter. Back to the run.
Bees quick to answer after a short game. Saw number 56 in there for the Bees, Cliff Nicholson, as well as number 13 for the Bees, Cooper Estes in there on the stop.
Now Olentangy looking at a 2nd down, and I don't know our yard marker there. Looks like we're
6 or 7. That's right in between there.
Dinah with their 4-man front, 2 backers.
They try to run a stunt that time up front. No pressure. They complete the wide receiver screen. Great job, almost stripping the ball away. Getting in there.
Cam Sokolowski, number 1.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful play. That's a very tough play to make. I mean, you're taking on one blocker, you're on an island by yourself. And you don't have to make the tackle, but you've got to slow the ball carrier down. You can't just let a free release outside the number 1 receiver blocking you. A great job by Cam Sokolowski. Down the corners playing up close, manning up a little bit here.
Do a little end around sweep. Getting the corner and the first down is Andrew Leach. Hadn't called his name since that long pass attempt. He gets the run that time. We'll get a first down to move the chains.
Now with Olentangy slowing the game down a little bit, or speeding the game up, however you want to look at it, but they are running the ball, they're eating up time, and Medina now, you know, we're getting some guys on islands here where they got man coverage. You know, it's getting, we got to really be careful that
have a little play action and
take that deep shot, and now we've got trips here to the top of your screen, the right of the quarterback, and a single receiver up top. Playing motion there to see what coverage they're in, and
through the screen as we brought pressure from the defensive back, and that left a little opening. Nice little stutter step move, gets it into Medina territory down to the 44-yard line.
You know, Andrew Leach goes in motion there from trips, goes in motion, and he picks up, I believe, he picked up, it would have been Talon Halvey, and Talon Halvey followed him. Then when he comes back, you know, it's basically telling the quarterback, hey, we're in man coverage here. Halvey comes back, and it's a race to the sideline there. So a well-designed play against man coverage. Halvey, world-class speed, track superstar, able to get there, but just got a little low on the tackle.
Another big hole being created by that Olentangy line, making it easy for these backs to come through.
And off to number 33.
That was 33 on the carry that time.
Danner. He stopped by Caden Ferguson.
Got somebody get slow to get up here for Medina. Number 25, Garrett Shook. Ray Coleman enters the game.
Ball on the Medina 38-yard line. They whistle it back into play here.
You could see where the absence of Nathan Nunn tonight against the run really, because you almost have to double team him every play if you're going to run the ball.
Medina down to a three-man front here. Just not able to get that push. Look at that brave offensive line. Just pushed a good 4 yards downfield before the back even had to think about evading someone.
He's brought down by number 5, Jeffrey Marshall.
That's just winning in the trenches right now by that offensive line.
So this is playing out a little bit different than it was on paper prior to the game. Olentangy coming up and just trying to force their will here on Medina and run the ball between the tackles.
Meyer takes the snap, hands it off to his back. Just look at follow behind his blocker until he finds an opening and then works himself ahead for a good gain on first down. Takes it down to the Medina 26.
So Clarkson, number 13 with the carry, is listed here at 5'7", 160. When you're, 5'7", 160, and you get behind a guy that's 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, 6'3", 235.
Right, it's really hard. It's hard to find. So you just kind of have to stay with your block.
Give it to a different back, bouncing it outside, and works his way for a first down. Ball came loose late. They threw the flag like it came loose. Let's see who's on top of it. I think they're going to say it was recovered by Olentangy.
Flag on the play.
So you look at momentum, Jared, and you start thinking, okay, where's the momentum going? You're going into half. And we always talk about this right before half. The team that scores, the team that gets the momentum, even if you're down 2 scores or whatever, any score before half usually gives you the momentum, any big play before half. And Medina's defense would be really nice right now to dig down deep, force a turnover, make something happen here with 4:20 left in the quarter or in the half, get the ball back.
Again, just a multitude of running backs getting it, and this time in for the score from 17 yards out was number 8, Cole Kirchner.
Kirchner untouched, right up the middle. Going to be attempting the extra point here. That makes it 21-6 with 4:11 left to play. And with 4:11 left in the half, Medina has plenty of time. Extra point is good.
Yeah, you like that when your extra point man had it. The holder's the guy that just scored the touchdown and had to take the gloves off to feel the snap come to him. And there you're going to see the carry there with the gloves on. He's going to come in and take this handoff. He contained to the outside, works that left side. Just look at the hole right there.
They're just getting caved in. I mean,
that's just credit to the offensive line of Olentangy, just opening up the holes. He walked into the end zone from 17 yards out, not getting touched.
14 play drive, 99 yards, and 14 first downs. No, not 14. Can't be 14 first downs, but 14 plays, 99 yards. 14 first downs in the game, I believe it is.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, they started that drive with 16 seconds left in the quarter, and they now have run off almost 8 minutes on that drive.
Right, close to 8 minutes. And wouldn't you want to, if you're playing Medina, it's a high-power offense, wouldn't you want to, run the ball, don't keep the ball out of their hands, keep their defense on the field?
Kick it away, this time fielded at the 5. Wojak trying to find a seam, cuts it back up. He'll get it up to the 28-yard line where the Bees will have an opportunity to have the ball for the first time here in the second quarter.
Nice carry by Wojak. Puts him in positive yardage. Start this big drive, that 4-minute drive. And we've seen it, though, many a times, Jared, where this Medina offense, one play here or there can score, in 4 minutes could score 2 touchdowns, but the defense is going to have to get off of the field. And even after a score here, I know it's late in the half, but, you might be wanting to dialing up that onside kick to give that defense some rest.
Well, I feel like something's got to happen on this drive, though.
Something.
Got to come away with some points here.
Something will. The magic is going to happen right here. There's going to be a big play, I'm thinking. I'm just seeing the wide receivers are getting open. You still have the seams wide open.
Stoddard backfires.
There's the
across
seam
the middle.
wide
There
open.
It is. Tucking in, getting up near midfield. Catch made. Number 7, Cameron Hathaway on the reception.
Great grab by Hathaway. And if you keep attacking the seams, you're getting inside the safety. It's just there. I mean, until Olentangy hits the chalkboard at halftime, you can keep attacking just inside those hashes.
Yeah, gain of 21 yards on that play. 1st and 10 for the Bees at their own 49. Stoddard, snap, looks left, fires left, hits his man Knowles. That's just the threat of Knowles. Forced the cornerback deep. He just turned and came back for it. Nice, another close to a 20-yard pickup.
When you have every receiver 15 on the other side and you have Austin Knowles by himself and he starts looking like he's going deep, you got to respect it. If he turns around and catches the ball, I mean, there's no way to defend it.
Ball at the 35. Bees looking left with Stoddard. Still sets his feet, steps up now.
He's got room to run.
Got room, yeah, you're exactly right. Now tucks it, heads towards the sideline, gets as much as he can. He'll get out of bounds, picking up about 4.
Stoddard keeping the ball.
I thought Austin Knowles that time was going to run a post corner. He started in on a post, then kind of flattened out. And, man, if he did break back to the corner, there was absolutely nobody there. I thought it was happening. But a play that takes a lot of time to develop.
That's that mental acuity you talk about with Stoddard. Knew, checked down on the receivers instead of forcing it, tucked, ran it, and lives to play another down here.
And get out of bounds, not take a hit, stop the clock.
Quick pass. Knowles again just working that comeback because they got to respect his threat deep. Able to make the reception. Good for a first down. Moves the chains for the Bees.
And I would say at some point you just move a safety over there and you play them up and you make them throw to other guys. But
then you attack the middle. Yeah.
Right. The problem is you have other guys to throw to.
Exactly. Gain of 9 on that pass reception by Knowles. Hathaway comes in motion. They fake the pitch to him. Looking down, still looking left. Now fires. Oh, that linebacker was just sitting there waiting on it, trying to get a wall of blockers in front of him now. And Stoddard makes the stop, a step in front of that football.
P.J. Harrison was patient. He waited and stepped in front. And you get the sense that some of the timing is just a tad bit off right now. Something that could be cleaned up at halftime, though.
He was just sitting there, though. He was waiting on that pass to come that way and just stepped right in front of it. I don't think Stoddard ever saw him.
So Stoddard sitting back now. He has to get rid of the ball.
See, he was just kind of sitting in that zone. He was hiding back there and just stepped in front of that play.
I think you're right, Jared. He never saw him. And it's hard to get a little bit of zip on the ball when you have, somebody coming down your throat right at the last second there. 2:34 left to play in the half. 22.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. 22-6. The Olentangy Braves, and this is a huge series for the Medina defense.
I was just going to say, you cannot give up points on this drive, as they will have the ball to start the third, and they go deep right away.
Great play!
And what a job to pick that ball up. What did we get a flag for?
What are we talking about with the flag?
What in the heck would the flag be for?
Talon Halvey makes a circus catch over the middle, tips it up. Great play, and we're going to have to find out
the only
what's
thing
going
I can
on
think
here.
of is when the player slammed the field, if he said something to get a personal foul.
That was not.
There was no contact.
No pass interference whatsoever, and I haven't seen the replay.
There was no contact. He went up and tipped that ball, and once the ball's tipped,
right,
contact can be made if it's after that.
But he went for the ball the entire time. Going to
Waving
wave
the
it off.
flag
That's
off.
a smart thing to do.
Let's take a look at it. Oh, sorry, they might have just shown the replay, and I was looking down. Here it comes. Yeah, he didn't even touch him.
No.
I don't know what the official saw there.
I'm glad another official had a good view at it and basically told him no way.
That was a good. That's twice now the officials have got together and had a discussion, and that's what you should do, and they came away with the right call both times.
Coach Laird almost had a Maylocks moment there. I mean, that was close. Because if they would have called pass interference on that and flipped the field, that would have been.
Well, this could be your game changer here. If Medina can put something together on this drive, it can get momentum back Medina's way heading in at the half here.
That momentum, here it comes. Big play by Talon Halvey.
Double clutch.
Exclamation point! There it is.
Took the shot deep, 37 yards out.
Wow. And by the way, no easy play by Talon Halvey. He did, that was excellent coverage to come back, and the only thing he could do was tip it to get the pick. And then the exclamation point right there, Stoddard throwing it deep.
Well, and you talk about that last drive, what did he do? 2 different pass plays where he faked deep and came back to the ball. Set it up. You saw him kind of give the double clutch when he threw it, and that got him deep that time, got him by the defender.
Right, you are telling a story and setting up that big ending, and there was the big ending, and you tell the story by all the small plays you do and all the checkdowns that you do. You're exactly right, Jared.
Extra point up and good, so life back here from Medina, 22-13. Take a look again here. You're going to see that double pump. He pulled it down right there. That's when he's going to go by the DB because he had come back, and then he releases, and now he's behind that DB. You can see the DB chasing him. He fell for the bite on that little pump fake.
He did. Yeah, because you had 2 in that last series where he came back and muscle memory for that DB. He's like, I'm not going to get fooled again. Well, you did because you bit on it. I mean, that's just the beauty of football right there. You're setting things up.
Well, one play on that one gets the Bees back on the board.
And the big thing, though, if you get another stop here, that's the momentum that you need going into half. Everything was going Olentangy's way. Now, all of a sudden, Medina flips it with one big defensive play, one big offensive play. Now you're down by a score.
Well, 2 now because it's 9.
2-9.
Because that extra point miss, that's still going to
I'm
loom
not a
large.
math teacher, Jared. I'm not a math teacher.
Neither was I, but it was under 10, so I stood a chance.
So 22-13. And, yeah, that's not sure. I was thinking about maybe going for 2 there.
And
too early.
Would have been a good option. But, yeah, you're right. With this offense, a little too early to start that. I think you're just looking for something to get a little momentum and keep it going. Kick back to the 1, fielded. Good cutback. He's got a little bit of a seam. Can he get to the outside? There was no contain that time. Trying to track him down, and the kicker gets him at the 47-yard line. Big return by Wiley.
To about the 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Donnie Taylor, the kicker, comes up and lays some wood. I mean, he comes up and lays a big hit on Jackson Wiley.
We talk about there. I don't know if you saw it. I didn't see any contain that time, or did he get chewed up by a blocker?
There was contain, and he bit inside the last guy and had a move put on him. And with Jackson Wiley, if you misstep, he's going to be by you. He's a special kind of runner.
Back to that ground game when you got a potent quarterback. They've definitely found something to try to attack here on the Bees offense here in this first half.
Donnie Taylor on the program here listed as kicker and kicker. There's not a secondary position. It says linebacker or cornerback. So
defensive specialist.
Starting goalie for Medina boys soccer.
So it has some agility there to go with that size.
I'm sure the soccer coach was cringing right there for a second.
Nah, you want a toughness out of your goalie. There, the Bees get a push on that front line. That's the first time I've seen the Bees win that battle up front since early in the first quarter.
Well, sometimes it takes a spark. It takes a leader like Talon Halvey to make a play. And I'll tell you, that kid's been making plays like that his entire career since he was a MYGF little football player.
So, yeah, a big third down here, 3rd and 8. Can the Bees answer the call here and force a fourth?
And
53 seconds to go.
We have not seen any kind of action to Grover, Gavin Grover, the 6'7" tight end, who's the number 2 receiver spot right now. He's made a couple nice blocks.
Timeout by Olentangy there. I don't think they knew the play. I think they might have been looking his way that time. So it'll be a timeout by the Braves. 41 seconds to go. I was trying to think if Coach Laird, I think we'll wait till after this play, utilizing a timeout if we're able to stop him here.
Right, if you get a stop, almost have to.
Because even if you go down to get a field goal, that could be a huge difference heading into the half.
Yeah, and you can, at this time you can put your punt block out. You could do just about anything.
Circuit City Chevy of Medina, North Gateway Tire, Cleveland Clinic, Trillium, Greek Dermatology, The Chapel Medina, Lit Fiber, Dominic's Pizzeria.
So both teams going over things. A very solid game being played by the Braves so far. Medina just flips it though with the momentum killer and takes the momentum as of right now going into halftime. 41 seconds. Medina's thinking we can't give up the big play, but I know how Coach Laird's thinking. He's thinking I want that ball back and I want to score here before we go in.
But you've got a weapon that you haven't seen too much of here from Ethan Grunkmeyer. See if he shows that arm off here, get that first down here for Olentangy and empty backfield for him.
And you got to find Wiley here.
And he can get it done with his legs as well, so you got to stay at home if you're one of the Bees going after him.
Now they have quads to the side.
Oh, that was a hold on the outside. They get it on the inside. Great move. I didn't see what they ran there because I was watching the outside hold, but a great move to the inside. They run a stun or something there?
Yeah, it was hard to see there. It was like the backer came in, lineman went around, out, kind of a twist, and Coach Laird emphatically calling timeout, running over and getting that one put in with 29 seconds. Like I said, he wants to score here. There's no doubt about it. Time really with this offense doesn't matter. You could score on one play, you could score on 8 plays in a drive.
But right there, you're still talking about, I think the energy from that Halvey interception, you can just see the attitude, the enthusiasm on this bench. Winning the battle up front, the attitude changed on that play.
Yes, high school football is big in momentum. You have a lot of guys put a lot of work in, and when the things are going good, it's really easy to be energetic, and when things are going bad, you kind of feel like you're fighting uphill sometimes. But you have to fight through those times, then you get the big play, and boom, things start happening. So Medina looking to get a good return here with 34 seconds left.
Yeah, they just changed it as they talked to the coaches and radio that up. Now they got that squared away.
And Olentangy might be in a good position to kick this ball out of bounds and avoid any kind of return.
Again, I mentioned their special teams giving up the big play last week.
Oh, they're bringing the house.
Yeah, they tried to go after the block. They force it out. Knowles is going to catch it on the hop. If he can make these 3 miss, he's got some room. And we're going to get, is he just marking? He was just marking the catch. Okay. I was afraid he might have saw a flag, but it was just marking where the catch is made. Great move by Knowles to get what he did.
I mean, that was 3 guys and Knowles, and he somehow got through them and picked up some yards, positive yards.
All right, can the Bees make something happen here in 24 seconds and 1 timeout? Chains, of course, stopping the clock on a first down. Stoddard will go to work. 1st and 10. Ball will be placed at the Bees' 38-yard line.
Now, this is the fun time for Stoddard because you work on this, you know, at least once, twice a week where you work on your inside a minute.
3 safeties, a good 30 yards off the football.
It's too early for that.
You got some underneath that'll be wide open.
Right. You got underneath, out of bounds. It's way too early for that.
Wojak does exactly that. Takes it into Braves territory down to the 46.
You used 6 seconds and picked up 15 yards. It's just, yes.
Wojak with the ball. He's stopped by number 4, Umar J.J. John.
And going in the same deep prevent defense.
And
same stuff's open. Just take pitch and catch, take what they give, get out of bounds. I mean, I've had this conversation with Coach Laird before, and I'll say the prevent defense, and you know what? It prevents you from winning. This is, they're way too early in the game, and now the whole field is flipped. You're sitting at the 32. Medina is poised to get in or at least get that 3 points. 3 points is critical here as well because that'll get you within one score.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you. I don't think it was a timeout. I think there was an injury on the field. They were getting the player off, and both teams thought it was a timeout, but they got the player off quick enough, so now we're back ready to start things up. Now we have a whistle, and now we have a timeout from Olentangy. They will have 1 left. Medina has 1 as well. You've got 13 seconds left on the clock.
Olentangy wanting to see the formation, call the quick timeout before the play is snapped. Now you have a look at what Medina might be trying to do, but I'm sure that when we go back out on the field here, it's not going to be that formation. And Olentangy looks like they tightened up a little bit there.
I didn't see it. I know we was running the ad on TV right now, but was it about 12 on the clock?
I thought it was a little bit more than that. It's 13.
13, there it is.
1 more. 13
so
seconds.
enough for 1 more play if you can get out of bounds and get that timeout, and then maybe a field goal if you don't take that shot in the end zone.
I think you have 2 plays here.
Well, it depends. If you try to go 30 yards in the end zone,
well, you
may not.
Right, you have a timeout. You can get 1 more underneath, take a shot at the end zone, and if you don't get it, kick a field goal. So 2 6-second plays get you down to 1 second. They got Knowles with a safety up top, double covered now. So we got to go over to the quad side.
Rolling right, he's coming back.
Oh, wow.
Backside of the field, wide open. Knowles up and touchdown Bees. What a drawn up play. They drew everyone to the right side of the field. Knowles ran all alone back on the backside. Tough across the field throw. Put on the money by Stoddard.
Do you know how hard it is to run to your right and throw to your left deep? And the neat thing about that play is Knowles was covered underneath. They had a safety committed to him on top. But when Stoddard rolled to the right to the quads, that safety vacated. And there was Knowles, not by himself. He had to get past the coverage about 4 or 5 yards. But what a play.
But again, the credit on the arm strength there by Stoddard to put it on the money. High snap, put down. Kick is good. So the Bees get on the board in less than 24 seconds. In fact, 17 seconds. There's the back. Oh, here comes the back end of that throw. Look at that across the field. And like you said, the safety had to commit on that rollout and puts it right on the money. What a beautiful throw. Nice route run by Knowles. Great pass by Stoddard, and the Bees are right back in this.
I will say this. That is one, since I've been, doing football here in Medina or doing the games, watching the varsity games, that is one of the best play calls after a timeout that I've seen. That is absolutely one of the best because they're over there preparing for whatever formation you had in, and they're talking about it, and it's like that right there. You're doing everything opposite of what you're showing. Just a excellent play call. And you could have, right there, you know, the common thing to do would be to go one more underneath, then go to the end zone. But
Well, we don't even get credit. You can't do that rollout and throw back without pass protection.
no, yeah, you're right. I mean, you are 100% right. And you didn't have, you know, you got to think Olentangy not putting pressure, not sending guys either.
Point
You know,
being in that prevent early in the drive.
right, prevents you from winning. And I mean, you handed 30 yards to the Medina Bees, and they took it. Didn't even have to burn a timeout.
One hopper fielded at the 10. Jackson Wiley looking for something. Oh, that's going to be close to a horse collar. No flag. Just a great tackle.
Wow. Johnny Nunn comes in and makes a great tackle.
Great special teams tackle there.
Stops Wiley in his tracks.
So you're Olentangy, you just happy with this and head into the half, or are you going to try to take a shot with 1 second left?
I think you're happy to go in. I mean, the way the momentum has shifted, you're happy to go in with the lead right now. Because this game was all Olentangy.
22-6, yeah.
Right, Medina was making mistakes. Halvey makes the pick, and everything has been going Medina's way since. It's the game of momentum.
Now Medina, 5 players at least 20 yards back.
Well, now you can run the prevent. There's 1 second.
1 second.
Yeah, you can't throw underneath, and there you go.
They take the knee to head into the half.
I'm actually shocked that they went into that prevent like they did. I know what they were doing. They didn't want to give up a deep ball to Knowles, but wow.
Yeah, what a tale of tale of the first half there. That first quarter, where Olentangy took advantage of, but a lot of mistakes by the Bees with penalties. They clean up those penalties. We get a turnover, and it flipped the script.
Right. If you make it to halftime with mental mistakes that you made, whether it's penalties, whether it's small things, whether it's you didn't have your mouthpiece in, small things like that, that gets taken care of at halftime. And once you take care of that at halftime, and once both coaching staffs go in there, look at what's working, what's not working, how they can stop the other team, the second half becomes totally different. Now, you would think Medina's going to go in, the defense is going to definitely start, stopping the run. They're going to come out with some run packages. They're going to stop the run. It's going to force Olentangy to throw. Medina is going to come back out, and they're going to keep doing what they're doing. And what they are doing is setting up big plays. Mm-hmm. They're doing, like you said earlier, Jared, we've got, hey, we got one-on-one coverage. We're going to stop short. Then we get the pump fake and go. Then we got roll to quads, throw back side. So there's a lot of things happening, and the seams are still open. So Medina, I think in the second half, has an enormous advantage to put a lot of points on the board.
And with the power of a quarterback that they have at Olentangy, that they really kept them contained there in that first half. And I wouldn't be surprised, again, if you go in and overcompensate too much, focus on that run game, he could come out and start throwing on you. So you still have to kind of keep that balance, but I agree with you. They got to find a way to win that battle in the trenches like they did here at the end of the half when they were able to win that battle at the line of scrimmage on Olentangy's last drive. Yeah,
it's kind of funny how we saw, from up here, you could see it real well that the Olentangy line was winning the first quarter, but then the second quarter, it seemed like right after the pick, both sides of the ball, Medina's offensive defensive line was really stepping up and getting things done.
Yeah, from that wonderful job on that interception, this has just been a great matchup between two quality teams that very well could see each other again come playoff time as they've made the rise to Region 2 Division 1. Olentangy did this year. So
when you have the lead, like Olentangy did, and you're able to run the ball, that's what you do, and you start killing the clock a little bit. But they just left, they left 4 minutes on there, and boom, Medina can score 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes.
Well, as explosive 17 seconds for the one drive. Right. So, yeah, that's exactly how it goes. Well, we have the Medina Musical Bees making their first appearance of the 23 season. Let's turn it down to the field now and take in the sights and sounds of the Medina Musical Bees.
Their inner cartoon character. Welcome to a musical extravaganza that's more chaotic than Wiley E. Coyote's plans to catch the Roadrunner. Get ready to tap your feet, clap your hands, and probably end up in stitches as we present to you tune after tune. We're about to take you on a wild ride through the wacky world of Looney Tunes, classical music, where the instruments are as animated as Bugs Bunny's expressions and the melodies are as unpredictable as Daffy Duck's antics. So buckle up, because we're about to turn this halftime into a laugh-filled, note-bending, instrument-slamming carnival of musical mayhem. Let the looniness begin. Sponsored by the Acme Corporation. Okay, groove enthusiasts, let's change it up a bit. Prepare to have your musical senses shaken and stirred as we dive into a chart-topping sensation hotter than a jalapeno in a summer heat wave. Brace yourselves for a sonic fiesta as we unleash Camila Cabello's Don't Go Yet upon your eager ears. This song is so catchy, get ready to shake those hips, tap those toes, and maybe even attempt a dramatic hair flip. Just remember, it's all in the name of musical mastery. Whether you're a fan of Latin beats or just can't resist a good pop groove, this performance will have you yelling, "Don't go yet." Let's give it up for the song that's more irresistible than a plate of freshly baked churros. Don't go yet. would like to take this opportunity to preview the music to the next part of our competition show. What's that sound echoing through all the chaos? It's none other than Raymond Scott's Powerhouse, the musical example of mayhem, madness, and probably a malfunctioning assembly line or two. So strap on your Acme rocket-powered sneakers and get ready to groove to the jazziest tune this side of the Tuneverse. It's time to let Powerhouse fuel our musical escapade, just like it powered all those contraptions that never worked out for our beloved Looney Tunes characters. Let the madness begin. Musical Bees would like to thank all their friends, family, community members, and the Acme Corporation for their generosity and continued support. Be sure to mark your calendars for Saturday, September 9th, as the Medina Band Parents Association will be hosting marching bands from all over Northeast Ohio for our annual Medina Band Show. We hope to see you there. Thank you, everyone, and go Bees! And that's all, folks.
Hi, I'm Amy Allison. We have to be real. My team and I are passionate about community involvement, whether it's sponsoring the basketball game, community theater, our local farmers market, or charity golf outing. We try to make our community a better place to live every day. One of our favorite causes is the Medina Athletic Booster. The boosters help provide
Yes. Medina fans, cheer on Owen Kurjan as they are kicking for chicken for Chick-fil-A. Owen will get 3 chances to make 1 field goal from the 5, 10, and 15-yard line. If he makes it, he gets a month of chicken from Chick-fil-A. He just won himself 1 month of chicken from Chick-fil-A. Congratulations.
Welcome back. A great performance there by the Medina Musical Bees. I just did a great, probably my best announcing I've ever done in my entire life. And we were muted back there in the studio, so you guys got to miss out on a great recap as I broke down the entire scoring for the entire game, and everybody missed it except for me. I know, it was a little song and dance put in there between, but needless to say, it's been, like we mentioned before, a tale of 2 halves. Or 2 quarters, basically, as Medina came out, struck first, had a little disarray as the kicker didn't have his mouthpiece, had to go out. They went for 2, didn't convert the 2-point conversion, and that kind of steamrolled the bad mojo there for a while for the Bees as Olentangy was taking advantage of penalties, dominating the line of scrimmage with their run game, accumulating 143 yards of rushing offense in that first half, and building a 22-6 lead, and at which point Medina was able to get a key interception from Olentangy, and that led to 2 straight scores from Medina to get them back into this within 2, 22-20.
Right, and you know, we talk about momentum, we talk about it all the time. High school sports, a lot of times are about momentum, and when you, if you look at the Olentangy play, that was a very well thrown pass. It was a good route by the receiver. Olentangy has the ability with his speed to make up ground. He made up ground. He really had no play on the ball other than to get a hand up and tip it. But then he stayed with it to get the interception, turn it into a huge play, and it kind of flipped the whole script. You saw everybody, Medina's offensive line, defensive line, all the way through, started playing at a different level. You know, and you have a leader like that picks you up, leads by example, makes the big play, you're in good shape. And you know things are starting to go good for you when your kicker makes a big tackle on a scholarship athlete that's running to the outside. He makes a solo tackle while things are starting to go. The worm is starting to turn and it's going your way. So I think, you know, with the home crowd, you know, Olentangy being pretty far from home, the momentum, you almost feel like Medina's winning this game right now and they're down by 2.
Yeah.
So I think this second half, I think Medina with being able to hit those seams on offense is going to kind of have their way.
Well, I think that's you want to see right now what Olentangy does on this first drive. They're going to have the ball. They deferred because they won the kick and deferred in the first half. So they're going to start with the ball first and see what kind of momentum they can try to rebuild after these last few minutes of not having things work out for them. They're late in the second quarter, and I know you have some of the stats there for us, what we had going on in the first half for both.
Right, you're looking at Stoddard is 16 of 21 for 257 yards, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions. Knowles is 8 catches for 170 yards, 2 TDs. Wojak is 6 catches for 67 and a rushing TD. And Medina scored 14 points in the last 2 minutes and 13 seconds. And remember, Olentangy's plan was to just basically kill that entire quarter with that 99-yard drive. They had, 14 different plays there, went 99 yards. And Knowles, 4 catches. Got a note here, 4 catches that were for at least 32 yards.
So, yeah.
So some of the big plays right there that he has had to work for, though. Those weren't freebies run down the field. Those are things like we were talking earlier. You're running some stop routes. You're catching some underneath things. And then, you get the corner to bite, and you're there. And that last play, you blow by the corner, and you get the safety to bite to the quads, who was set up. Olentangy's credit. They're like, you've got Knowles by himself. We got a corner here. We got a safety up top, and we're just not going to let him have the ball. But man, to go quads and roll out, and let's not forget to be able to make that throw. I mean, not too many kids and very few men could make that throw, running the quads and coming back to the other side.
And I think 2 of them are probably on the field here tonight.
They are the two of the best quarterbacks in the state of Ohio.
And Ethan has done nothing wrong on his side for Olentangy. I mean, he threw the pick to Holby, but that's Holby making a heck of a play, really. So you can't really take that away from Ethan there. He showed quick feet running, made a great run there on one of the drives, but really hasn't been called to task yet. He's only, I just have it here, 5 for 7 for 42 yards.
Right, and that's when the run game works and you're playing a high-powered offense, that you're going to hand the ball off and you're going to grind clock. But you'll see in the second half that Olentangy's going to kind of hand it off to him and say, hey, go ahead, do your thing.
And really, we haven't seen their tight end get in.
Not
too
one.
much, actually. I think he had one pass, did he?
I'm not sure, but I don't remember any looks to him or any throws.
So we'll see what. We knew this was going to be an exciting game. We just didn't know how it was going to develop. I didn't expect to see so much running out of Olentangy, but credit to them. They saw something in the film. They took advantage of it, able to build that lead. But now we're going to see, like you said, are they going to loosen the reins and let their quarterback go and throw some?
I think you got to give it to him and say, go ahead and do this. And now, Stoddard's just warming up now. And, once he gets calibrated here in the first half, the second half is going to be something else. But Olentangy's got to figure out a way, if they're going to stop the passing game, they're going to have to get some sort of safety over the middle. They can't just have the 2 deep safeties and let guys in the seam. It's just going to be a long day if they continue that.
But I'll give credit to Olentangy. They're one of the few teams, as we've called Stoddard throwing last season, and you throw all kinds of defenses at them. They've stayed in a fairly simple defense, sometimes sitting back in that zone, and it's led to some interceptions here today.
That's very true. That is very true.
And so credit to their defense. That they're one of the few defenses I've seen that have been able to hang with this high-powered Medina offense. And on the other side of the coin, this Medina defense, I think, has started to settle down a little bit. They're a little shell-shocked by that run game, but looked like they're starting to settle down there toward the end of the second quarter. We'll see if they can do that, because both these teams are very explosive, and this could be quite a second half getting ready to get started.
Absolutely. But, I'm going to put my prediction here, or my way I think the second half go, is going with the momentum. And I said it early in the game, whoever has that momentum going into halftime, who has that feel good, you could even, you could be up 2, you could be up 10, but if you don't have the momentum, it just doesn't feel right. And definitely Medina had the momentum going in. Hopefully on this drive, can capitalize on that momentum and keep it, pretty much the rest of the game.
Well, I think, too, you look at penalties, cleaning up the game. Turnovers, of course, will play their role, but cleaning up that game, I think Olentangy 1 penalty in the first half. We had 7.
7, and that, you know what that leads to? A long week of practice for the guys. I've been on both sides of that where when you have the penalties, it's those are the one things that coaches never quite let you go on.
Yeah, they don't like those.
No, they don't like those. And you see it all the time with, like, if, a lineman jumps, he just comes right off.
Well, and I think a lot of it, too, Medina coming out, some of the penalties, the offsides, just those are penalties that are easily corrected. Not having your mouthpiece and slowing things down. 2 different plays that happen with players. I mean, that's just mistakes. That's just simple things you can clean up that are very frustrating for coaches. And Medina had cleaned it up there in the second quarter. We'll see if they can get it going in the second half. Olentangy to receive first. They've had excellent returns on all of their kickoff returns here to start this game. And we'll see what goes in the third quarter as this one's going to draw them back. Fielded at the 5. Good seam up the middle. B's on top of it to bring him down, as that was number 5 on the return, Zach Griffin.
So Griffith, that's who I would kick it to. I would try the other guy because Jackson Wiley has been chewing up some yards back there.
Johnny Nunn with the stop.
Johnny Nunn with another tackle there. He is a special teams demon tonight. Had the big hit early on in special teams and towards.
The ball will be placed at Olentangy's 27-yard line, and here they come out. Let's see how they set up. Their offense is a run-pass option offense, so it is up to the quarterback, Ethan Krunkmeyer, to read what's going on and decide whether to hand off or throw. Early in the first half, it was run. Let's see if we get some throw here now. Again, it's going to be him on the keep. He read that perfectly as the end dove in, and he's going to take it ahead for a gain of 10.
In the program this year.
And honestly, with all the technology that football teams have now, and all the films and the iPads, usually your first 3 plays coming out of the half should be pretty good on offense. You get to see things that.
Please welcome the Medina Youth Gridiron.
You get to see things that are open. You get to study things, and you can capitalize early.
We'll go 39 there. I think the ball got moved up a little bit. They try to run the counter. The back just lost his footing trying to cut back. I think the quarterback didn't get the ball in time to release it. He kind of got stuck between
Chad
steps.
Gatchell coming off the end there, and Chad Gatchell kind of coming downhill, and he was going right for the mesh point with the quarterback in back, and that's one where the quarterback needs to read that and pull and run. Because
he decided too long, and I think that's what slowed the back up and caused him to trip and fall as he was trying to go away.
Gatchell came downhill pretty quick there.
Trying to throw, he's trying to scramble, now he cuts back up the middle, carrying that ball dangerously on the outside, now tucks it in and gets a good run, blocking downfield by his receivers. He goes out of bounds into Medina territory. Again, showing that great footwork is Grunkenmeyer. Not only a great passer, but is very mobile and agile with his feet.
Grunkenmeyer did that all on his own. He had absolutely nothing open. He had pressure and really good defense by Medina. But when you have a stud athlete like that, it's very hard to contain, even if you are containing.
There's the give, falling behind his blocker. He was pulling, and it opened up a hole in the middle, and the big run by number 13, Riley Clarkson.
Riley Clarkson, number 13.
So right back to that magic again, to that ground game by Olentangy.
Clarkson just so hard to find. Gets behind the big, I'm not sure if that was the guard or tackle.
I think it was left tackle.
Left tackle pulled, so you run a little bit of the old Rich Rodriguez dart play there in getting behind your tackle, and that's set up to where if the end crashes, the quarterback could run it as well. But if you get by that tackle, you're basically out there.
Yeah, Chase Seltor, 6'3", 235, leading the way for him. And there's that flip. That's going to be a pass, as it's the end around they ran earlier in the game to Leach, and once again he'll get about 5 or 6 on that one. See where the ball gets placed.
Pass to Andrew Leach.
So Olentangy sticking with the run here.
Picks up about
Only a gain of 3.
4 yards.
Down to the 26. 2nd and 6. So the Bees got to find a way to get this push. They'd love to bring either the tackle or the tight end across, leading the way on these blocking plays.
Wiley is a extra wide out on this play.
Again, here's the tackle coming across. Oh, they tried to throw the wide receiver screen. He led him a little too much. And I think Wiley lost his footing a little bit as well.
You know, and he kind of gave himself up there. That time he was about, I'd say, 4 yards closer to the sideline than he's usually been lining up. And then boom, a screen.
So they bring the tight end out too far, so he's not going to block on this one. Usually when he's been lined up a little closer to the line, he'll come across.
Trips, isolated receiver on top.
Rolling out, pressure, they go up over the top. Oh! Over the intended hands of that big tight end.
Gavin Grover,
the 6'6", 240 of them.
6'6", it's a big target there.
Darnell Davis on.
So now a 4th down. Interesting. Now their field goal kicker was out here right as we were talking before the half, kicking from the 30-yard line. So it's well within his range, but they're going to go for it here.
You know, they need about 6, so manageable type of play.
Don't want to jump offside for the Bees. Don't want a hard count to make it even a short yardage 4th down.
Really going to have to contain Grunkmeyer here because if we wind up in a scramble drill, he's able to pick up 6 yards with no problem.
Goes right across the middle, had his receiver, led him perfectly, takes it down inside the 10. The 5-yard line as that's completed to Zach Griffith.
Pass complete.
It was a very poised throw. Grunkmeyer let the play develop, let things set up, and made an absolutely perfect pass.
And watching his game film, that's what he does. The defenders on that, as he's looking at it on the left side, he puts that ball on the right side. I mean, he knows what side of the offensive player to put that ball on to make it that much harder for the defender to get in the way.
And that pass would have been hard for anybody to miss. I mean, you could have just about, I mean, that pass was just, it couldn't be any better. We're in the power eye here. Olentangy going a little old school with the ISO, straight ahead.
Looking for his 3rd touchdown on the ground. Is he going to get it?
It's like they're on the 1-yard line.
That's P.J. Harrison who's trying to get it in again.
Now that's a tough play to defend, and the reason it's a tough play to defend is because it's just not run that much anymore. You don't see it as often. If this was the late 80s, early 90s, you'd see it every week. I guess I'm dating myself here, but you would see it every week.
Well, you just heard stories.
Heard stories, that's right.
13 seconds on the play clock as they break the huddle.
Line.
See if they go back to Harrison.
It's like Olentangy's on the 2-yard line.
And it is Harrison stacking him up in the backfield that time. Who got
Huge
in there?
play, huge play.
13, don't stand over him. He's helping him up. That's good job there. That was Cooper Estes. How many times have we said his name tonight making a play?
Cooper Estes coming in untouched. We call that forming your guy up, man. That's a perfect form tackle, and then you're driving him. That's what the drills look like right there. You usually don't see it in the game. That's what tackling looks like in the drills.
That was a great defensive stop there. The Bees needed that. Pushed him back and gave him a little bit of space to work defensively here.
That's going to make things very interesting now. You know, a 2nd and 2.
They shift over here. They got to slide out. They're leaving that tight end a little too much yardage. I thought we were going to get an ankle tackle. They stop him short
yes,
of the
they did.
wall.
They're on the maybe on the 1-yard line,
half-yard line even. That's going to bring up a 4th down and goal. B's going to go big lineman here, making a substitution.
Olentangy's bringing in the big guys as well. They just brought in 4 linemen, maybe 3 linemen and a fullback.
Big teetering point here on the game as it's Olentangy's opening drive.
I think you're going to see power eye again. 45 came in. That would be C.J. Santa.
I'm surprised they just don't have the quarterback keep it and go. Oh, he dropped the football, but he still got the push from the line. Somehow he dropped the football, picked it back up.
His knee never went down, and touchdown.
And there's the touchdown signal. Wow. Now, could you make the argument he was clocking the ball?
Be an odd situation to do it, but
Hey, I was trying for anything there. No, just a nice presence of mind to somehow pick the ball back up and get in.
They changed the role a few years ago where you're allowed to assist the ball carrier. You're allowed to push him.
Yeah.
It's really changed things.
Oh, B's got a lot of pressure in that time, but the kick's still away and good. Makes it 29-20 in favor of Olentangy. Let's take a look here and see. Yeah, the ball drops, but presence of mind to pick that up. And then there's that push you talk about. They just push him in.
Yeah, because that changes things. Because if you're not allowed to push him, which I don't know what year it was. Again, I don't want to date myself, but you go back, that would have been a penalty years ago.
Yeah.
And Caden Ferguson, 95, there would have would have probably made the play easily without assistance. Without that extra assistance and that extra push.
But basically 5:13 off the clock there on that drive by Olentangy to put them up 9. So the Bees awaiting their first possession of the second half.
And Olentangy really mixing things up. Short passes, throwing nice pass down the middle when they needed it, but mixing it up. You're seeing a little bit of ends arounds and from ISOs to end arounds to hitting the post.
Fielded at the 4. Wojak looking for a seam. Takes it up, brought down about the 28-yard line.
Well, what I love about Wojak is there is no pause when he gets a kickoff. It is straight ahead, full speed. Using that vision, if you get a move, you can get a move, but if not, you got all you can get.
Will be taking home $1,222.
So right now the key is simple. The Bees got to get something going on offense and find a way to make a stop on Olentangy defensively to get back in this one down by 9 again. All right, you've got Knowles. Look at this on the island again. Just got to watch which way the safety goes here.
50-50 raffle ticket.
Bring an extra man in motion. Knowles stayed back this time for like a wide receiver screen. Now Stoddard running for anything and might get it back to the yard gain, maybe the original line of scrimmage here, depending where he stepped out is on the far side of this field for us, so tough to see.
Olentangy only bringing 3 guys that time, and if you're going to bring 3 guys, Stoddard is going to need to have time to throw the ball because you're sitting with 8 guys in coverage. If you have 8 guys in coverage, things are going to look a little bit different than what you're used to seeing on film. This time, Olentangy has 4 up to the line, so actually bring 3 again.
Stoddard finds Wojak. That's why I was talking about that numbers game over on this side of the field. They're sitting in the zone. And good job by Wojak to find the open seam in that zone and get the completion.
A 50-50 raffle ticket number.
It's very difficult as a quarterback to go through your progressions when 8 guys are sitting in coverage. If you have 8 guys in coverage, things are going to look different, and you're going to miss a guy here or there. They're going to be in a spot where you're not used to a guy being in the spot.
0, 5, 5, 9, 0, 2, 4,
Knowles double covered this time. Now they slide the safety over, so now Knowles back on the man-to-man.
That's a QB counter tray.
That was great blocking on the end there. That was number 60 from Medina. Caught that Evan Halfcock catching the linebacker out there. I thought he was going to be all over Stoddard, and he was able to get that block so Stoddard could get something out of that. Now 4th and 1 here for the Bees.
Well, and that's a great play to establish if you're going to run that counter tray because you're bringing 2 linemen out, and there's no linebacker there. You have defensive backs dropping in coverage. There's literally no linebacker over the middle. If Stoddard can bust something up the middle with his legs, there's nobody there.
Be a linebacker this time as it's a 4th and 1. Stoddard back, looking to throw. Wants to go deep. has Knowles. Knowles comes back.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Can't catch it though. Lost his footing as he tried to come back, slipped and dropped the ball.
And he was shielded by the defender where it was hard to see, so he had a blind spot for a second. The ball appeared, had it in his hands, and hit the ground. The ball kind of bounced out. That time Olentangy bringing some pressure.
0, 5, 5, 9, 0, 2, 4, 5.
And now the defense
has got to come up to answer the challenge.
for $1,222.
Defense is going to have to come up big here. Going to at least have to hold them to 3 or maybe nothing. Big turnover, 3 and out.
Ball on the 37. There's a big hole up the middle. Another big gain on the ground. That's Cole Kirshner on the carry.
A lot of inside run, pulling the big tight end.
Cole Kirshner, the
Lead
ball
block
carrier.
in.
Cooper Joseph
Takes it down to the 29-yard line. Looks over to the sideline for the adjustment.
Very interesting formation because you have a tight end that's eligible, you know, because you have the 2 receivers to that set are actually in the backfield. So you basically have trips over there.
And they use him as the lead blocker. Great penetration that time. Getting in there, Cooper Joseph gets in there and makes the stop.
How about that textbook attempt at the strip there? Cooper Joseph, knowing they need a big play, has him wrapped up with the left arm, comes with the right arm, and just gives a nice rip at the ball.
So 3rd down now
the
and 2.
50-50 raffle ticket is been won by
Olentangy
Kevin
stay to the
from
ground or go to the
Baby
air here on 3rd and 2. Look over to the sidelines after seeing the Medina V's defense. Usually they bring the tight end across and run to that left side. Let's see if they do here.
He has a cousin.
There it is. The tight end
Exactly.
leads the way. And they stopped him short. It's going to be about a 4th and a yard and a half, it looks like.
Cole Kirshner, the ball carrier.
I think that was, did I see at the bottom of the pile, John Estes down there? 32.
John Estes with the stop.
Johnny Estes, 426.
Big 4th down here for both teams. Medina trying to stop. They need about a yard and a half.
Okay, good. Medina did not jump there. That was a play trying to draw him off sides, trying to get a free one. Mixing the count up. Trying to bring in some pressure this time.
They throw it away. Did he hold on to it? That's the key. And the pass is caught. Tight end releases out, makes the catch, moves the chains for Olentangy.
Pass complete to number 87.
Gavin Grover on the reception.
You're stuck in a situation there where you do have to bring guys. You have to come up, but tight end gets out. And again, perfect pass. That's where nobody else could catch it but the tight end, and slides out of bounds. So new set of downs. Medina back at it.
All right, let's see if it holds true again. They put him on the end there. When he's behind the tackle, he usually pulls left, but they have the running back on the other side this time, so no.
Counter tray right there. Guard and tackle pulling that time.
13 on the run.
Riley Clarkson with the ball.
There's Riley Clarkson. Takes it down to the 20-yard line
Cooper
of the Bees.
Joseph with
Gain
the
of 4.
stop.
Got a whistled timeout by the officials timeout. We have a player down for the Bees.
So with 3:07, Medina has their back to the wall a little bit here on the 20. Need to dial up another big play. You know, the last series of downs, they pushed the boulder up the hill. They got the 4th down.
Injured player on the field.
Weren't able to keep it up there. Now you're pushing the boulder back up the hill on this series. You're sitting at 2nd down, 6 yards on the 20-yard line. And, you know, the worst case scenario you want to do is, you know, give up 3 points here.
Right. And of course the cramping starting up here for the defender here. You see the stretch to try to get him loosened up.
It's a crazy sport, Jared, where you come out here as a high school athlete and you're fighting 95-degree heat sometimes and humidity, and then you make a run in the playoffs and you're the fans are cleaning off snow off their windshields after the game. You remember the brutality last year, the playoff game, up in the booth with the rain and the wind. And
oh yeah, that was that against
and that used to be a big factor, if you remember, when fields were grass.
Yeah, well, I'm back here in the day when
And you'd have a team that threw the ball well, then all of a sudden they're in the playoffs. It's rained all week and they're playing on mud, and they're just not able to get a grip on it. Receivers aren't able to get out, and it just turns into a whole different game. You don't see that much. You don't.
and that's back in that day. Medina was a running team.
Congratulations to
Right.
Very strong running team. You can go through the list of running backs back then.
55-inch TV,
And now you
courtesy of Lit Fiber.
have them all in
Tonight's
this
game
5 wide
sponsor.
receiver sets.
Jen,
But right
please
now
go
it's the
down to
defense
the
that
Lit
has our
Fiber
focus.
tent behind the swarm
As
section.
the ball gets replaced back down to
So pick
20.
up your TV.
Second down now and 6 for Olentangy. Looking to extend their lead over the Bees on this drive.
You have Talon Halvey sitting over the 2 receiver set here. Again, counter tray.
Another big hole there as Olentangy's been able to take advantage of
Jack
the ground
Fletcher, the
game.
ball here.
You know, in that counter tray play, when you've got
Preston Danner,
guys
the
blocking
ball
down
carrier.
and 2 guys pulling,
Picks
can
up the
cause
first
real
down.
fits if you don't have
That was Preston Danner. And they've done it with a trio of backs from Preston Danner to Riley Clarkson and also P.J. Harrison. The 3 backs have really taken their
First and
turns
10
and
on
been able to
the
get
11-yard
through thanks
line.
to the offensive line of Olentangy and move the ball downfield.
spreading the ball around, keeping guys fresh.
Getting it down again, down to the 1. That time again, it's Preston Danner.
Preston Danner, the ball carrier.
I tell you what, Olentangy's going to be a team to beat if they can keep this balance, having a quarterback that can put the ball in the air
He
and
was
then
stopped
have
by
this run
Brady
game.
Smeagol.
That's a nice solid 1-2 punch offensively. The teams are going to have to contend with.
Also, Talon
Right,
Halvey
I'm very impressed with the run game and how they're blocking it. Their linemen, you know, a lot of pulling. The tight end's pulling a lot, like you've picked up on Jared, where he seals the crashing end most of the time.
Ken
And
Kovac. Again, please go down to
their
Lit
offensive
Fiber
line's
tent.
getting a lot of good angles
Behind
on
this
Medina's
swarm
defense.
section.
And now here we are, foot-to-foot splits. Usually means you're going to jam it up the middle. Nope, keep and run.
Right in. Again, not
And a
a
flag.
late flag, but again, just his ability to hide the
Flag on
football there.
field.
We're going to be hoping this is a
Meyer
hold.
gets the ball.
It was in the area of a hold, but it came in kind of late. So with it coming in late, usually the hold comes in right away.
I just saw the tight end signaling it was on him.
Okay, that's a huge.
He immediately was saying it was my fault. He fessed up to it. It's a huge holding call. Brings a touchdown away
That is a massive play right there.
for the moment. It's going to move him back 10. Ball will be placed at the,
Great chair, gridiron.
looks like it's on the 11.
Cheerleader.
Yeah, it was in the area of a hold, but the flag came in so
That might be
late.
the 10. I take that back. With the score, I think they're going to say it was right around the goal line, so it looks like it's on the 10.
He didn't even need to hold, because, I mean, if it's that close.
Yeah. So second down now and goal for Olentangy. Is it going to roll right? Has blockers ahead of him. I think that was a designed run, and it's going to go nowhere. He lost the football, but it went out of bounds. That could have been a huge turnaround for the Bees, and he's been carrying that ball loosely a lot on his runs.
Garrett Shook came flying up. It looked like there was no contain. Then out of nowhere, Garrett Shook came flying in to shake things up.
Let's take a look at this again here. There's the, watch how he's carrying this football. I know he's going to look like he's going to throw it.
I mean, he has the edge right there. There's nobody there. And then all of a sudden, here he comes out of nowhere, shot out of a cannon,
And then
wrapped
loses that
up.
football. Good thing he was able to kick that out of bounds with his knee, or else that could have been a big turnaround for the Bees.
What a huge play by Garrett Shook.
Now the ball back on the 20-yard line. Lost a 10 on that one. Stepped in plenty of time in the pocket. Goes deep for his tight end. Can't get it there.
That ball kind of fluttered out. You can see it right out of the hand.
Intended for number 87.
It looks like field goal time, Jared. They held him to a three-point attempt here, which is enormous considering what happened there. That hold, you know, that penalty is a crucial one that took
Big
points off the
turnaround,
board.
Absolutely. Now if you can get in here, maybe get a block or a miss, it makes it even bigger.
56 seconds left here in the third.
He's lining up. Ball will be, or the kick is lined up at the 27, so a 37-yard attempt.
That's Tobias. To attempt the
Snap
field
is
goal.
good. Hold is good. Kick is
Ooh.
good.
Field goal is good.
I don't know if you're standing. I would never want that job. You're standing under there, the ball's curving, and that one was so close. I mean, it looked like it went right over the flag.
So now the lead up to 12.
Hurt during a big game or have a joint, bone, or
So it's
muscle
going to be
injury?
a.
So really, how often are you going to say that you're almost going to play 50 seconds left in this quarter? Medina's only touched the ball for one possession.
Without an appointment.
It's amazing, and that's.
And that possession was all of 28 seconds.
It's got to be a part of Olentangy's scheme. I mean, that's a part of their plan. We're going to eat clock. We're going to run the ball. We're going to throw it when we have to. And quite frankly, it's thus far has worked. You're keeping Medina's offense off the field, the high octane offense, keeping the defense on. But I'll tell you what, credit to the defense. When they really have to make that play, they're starting to make it.
Now it's going to be up to the offense, this high octane offense of Medina to try to get things going here to cut this lead. Fielded at the 22 and quickly brought down at the 30. The Bees will start 1st and 10.
Aiden Dillon taking the kick.
Aiden Dillon with the return. It's always the up man's dream to get that ball kicked at you. You know, you might go the whole season and never get one at you, but when you do, you'll never forget it.
And you know the trust of the coaches, because if you run it and they're screaming and you didn't just fall down on it, but if you get it and get the go, then they know you got faith in you.
That's exactly right.
And we'd like to thank the following business sponsors: Amy Hogue, EXP Realty,
Ball on the 30 for the Bees.
Chevy of Medina,
Stoddard has a back in the backfield with him.
Trillium Creek Dermatology,
4 wide receivers spread out. They'll take the snap. Looking right, nothing there. Now looks left. He has a man wide open in the flat, but can't see him. Now he sees him, fires it off, completes it. That was complete to number 12 of Medina, Dylan Whitehill. And he was open from the get-go on that play. Just took Stoddard a minute to find him.
Well, and that could have went either way. Stoddard could have ran that, pointed, had Whitehill block for him. Made a nice choice, got a good gain there. Three-man rush.
Three-man rush, still getting some pressure, forces Stoddard out, and we're going to get a hold. As the ball is thrown across the middle, Knowles is, or I'm sorry, not Knowles, that's 5, Zach Griffith. Oh, sorry, jeez, I'm looking at the wrong ones.
They're going to get Pete Jarvis here with a hold, and Pete Jarvis was making a nice block on the outside, and as soon as the defender got to his outside, he got his hands, they were inside, he let him go.
Wait, this is Stoddard that's down. Not sure on the play what happened there. Don't know if we can go back and look. And we do the flag down for the hold, but Stoddard is down.
Dan Stoddard.
I think he just got the wind knocked out of him. Take a look here and see what happens at the end of this play.
You'll see
Stoddard
down here
take the snap. Let's see if we can see the hold too.
at the bottom. Jarvis, well, he got his hand to the outside a little bit.
Sorry, we went to our wider shot here, I think, first. Yeah, I think I got the hand up by that face mask there on the hold. He goes in motion. Let's see what happens here towards the end of this play.
That's no way.
My gosh, yeah, that was dropping the shoulder.
That
wow. Was a shot.
Wow. That is, that's unfortunate. That's typically 15 the other way all day.
Wow. I don't know if the officials just gave up on the play because of the penalty or what's going on there, but wow, that was a heck of a shot.
If you see the hold right there, you're in that same area. That was a, yeah, well after the throw, well after.
I mean, he got down. I just couldn't see if it was helmet or pad.
It was mostly pad, but it was 4 yards. I mean, after the throw, about a 4-yard sprint.
Glad to see him up coming off the sideline on his own. That was just a hard hit. So. Reset it, and we'll go 1st and 10 now with our Next quarterback.
Chris DePasquale has entered the game. He's just warming up on the sideline. Hopefully Stoddard is okay. Heading off to the sideline.
Hopefully won't be off for too long.
That's one of those ones, if you get hit like that, you're not expecting it. You got the ball out, and it does knock the wind out of you. Oh, wow. They didn't mark the hold off. No. Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay. So they did come after the hard hit then. So that would have been offsetting and then just replay the down.
Well, I feel a lot better now, Jared.
Yeah, I do too.
That's offsetting. Got kind of quiet there.
I didn't see the second flag, though, so that's what had me.
Pasquale's pitch to Jack Wojak.
So Wojak picks up a yard. Looking at 2nd and 9 with 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Let's see if Chris DePasquale.
He wants to go left, fires, gets it away to Knowles. Knowles catches it. Going to be short of the first down. Bring up a third and about 2. Well, we'll go 3 now. We're going to mark it at the 49.
Will Bartley in the coverage.
That's a great guy to throw to. You come in the game, you're the backup QB. Put it in the area of Knowles.
7 yards.
Let him make a catch. Let him do what he does. 15 seconds left. 3rd and about 2.
Pressure coming in, gets rid of it towards the sideline. And that's incomplete, going for Cameron Hathaway.
Pass intended for Cameron Hathaway, number 7.
DePasquale throwing that ball away. Had nobody that he saw open. Living for another down.
On the coverage, Omar J.J. Job.
9 seconds to go here in this third quarter. You see all the youth cheerleaders here on the sideline. Youth night here for Medina. Have more on the youth night here in a moment. Quickly gets rid of it, but falling down was Wojak, and it's a turnover on downs for Olentangy.
Wojak kind of slipped in his turn, or he'd be right there. The ball, timing pattern. Needed short yards, timing pattern. Wojak turns, falls, and
so the Olentangy defense stays stout and strong again, gets the turnover on downs, and we'll start here with 4 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ball just inside Medina territory at the 49.
so I know Medina hasn't punted in this game. I'm trying to think if Olentangy has punted yet in this game.
I do not believe they have.
So we have a game.
I can tell you that for sure here in a moment.
Game of 0 punts so far.
There's the end around on the pitch. And a nice job blocking ahead and a seam down the sideline before he's taken out of bounds. Great run by number 1, Jackson Wiley.
Jackson Wiley finally knocked out of bounds with a big hit by Talon Halvey. But after picking up the first down and much more. And that's going to end the third quarter with the score 32-20, 12-point deficit for the Medina Bees.
They just haven't been able to got it within 2. We just haven't been able to make that climb as Olentangy's been able. You asked me a moment ago, I'll look back through here. I'll put on my notes. They have not punted.
So we have a very rare game.
Oh, no, they did. I take that back. They had 1 punt.
1 punt.
Right before the half.
So we have 1 punt, 3 quarters down. And now we go to the championship rounds here. Quarter 4, 12 minutes, and we're in the deep water. We're going to see who can finish this out. Get a little momentum either way.
We're talking about youth night as we see the cheerleaders work their way down and the younger football athletes out there, but also you might want to check out the Kids First Medina page on Facebook to get info on the upcoming bond and the levy ballot this November. So you can get informed as you head to either do your early voting or head to the polls in November. Again, that's the Kids First Medina Facebook page. Stop in and check it out. Now 1st and 10. Olentangy going to the air this time. Looking deep and has a man wide open. Just couldn't get it off his fingertips. As that was intended for Andrew Leach, and they had it. That was a nice play there drawn up by Olentangy. And sometimes you have that good side and you have that bad side when you're a receiver. I think that might have been a little more of his bad side. He looked a little tough trying to spot that ball and come down with it.
Definitely a tough one when you're turning to the outside. And Grunkmeyer has been just a little bit putting a little bit extra on the passes tonight, and he's overthrown a couple open receivers deep.
Man, he wishes he could have that one back. That was 6 for sure.
Little movement, no flags. Reset, get a new play. We hear whistles. Timeout.
No. Yep, timeout by Olentangy.
Olentangy didn't like what they see. Take a timeout. Give some of these linemen here a rest. It's like Medina's entire defense right now is meeting.
Final thank you to the following business sponsors.
Again, got to just hand it to them. And right now, we'll see what they do. 11:54. Olentangy with the ball at the 30. They went to the air that time to take a shot in the end zone to kind of put this one out of reach here for Medina. But interesting to see if they go back to that ground game and try to chew up some of that clock and just keep the ball out of the hands of the Medina offense.
Right, and they had it. I mean, they called the right play. They had the open receiver, and look here, you have the 12-point lead. Even a field goal, just you're looking at 2-score games still.
Chevy of Medina, North Gateway Tire,
Trying to look
Cleveland
across.
Clinic, Trillium Creek Dermatology.
A touchdown makes it very tough because you're looking at a 3-score game. You're looking at 2nd and 10. If you run the ball, you're looking at 3rd and passing situation. And here's our play, Jared. You have the big tight end back. They're going to run the little flip.
Wow, I tell you, working right there for the Bees. Jeffrey Marshall worked on 3 blocks to try to extend that guy out towards the sideline where someone else can make the play.
Bringing him down. Forcing him out of bounds.
So
3rd and 5 now.
pivotal play here. 3rd and 5 would set up a field goal attempt if they don't get it.
Back to throw. Poise in the pocket, now being flushed out, looking to run. Now Tux tries to run, tries to put a move on, stretches the ball out. It's not going to be enough. Now we've got an Olentangy player down. Cramping, another cramping victim here tonight.
Brought down by several Medina Bees. Jeffrey Marshall with the initial hit.
So tough right there because you have pressure on them, and number 13 Cooper Estes is working the containment and then has to go back inside. And as soon as he goes back inside, we get a little bit of a bounce to the outside, and it's just very tough when you have a quarterback that has great feet, great balance, and can move. And if you're a Penn State recruit, you have all those tools.
Yeah. And even the wherewithal. You saw him trying to stretch the ball out, try to get whatever yardage he could. So now an interesting 4th down play. Again, this might be out of the range of their kicker. I mean, he looked solid. He was kicking from the 30, which would have been a 40-yard field goal, and he was putting them in as he warmed up to start the 3rd quarter. Right before the half ended.
Right, and if you miss, you're giving the Bees the ball on the 37-yard line, around there. Or 35, 35-ish.
Wouldn't it be? Or is it from where the hold?
I think it's from where the hold is.
Well, needless
I could
to say,
be wrong,
they're going to go for it here, so we won't be worrying about that. But again, you've got to watch the feet here of
Medina has had some success on the last couple pass plays with pressure. And this time they dial up, it looks like 4 or 5, and that ball is there and on the money, and it's a touchdown.
And the safety got sucked into the middle there and couldn't get back to give help.
Wiley for a Braves touchdown.
You know, you're trying to defend the sticks on that play because you know they a 1st down, it's 4th down, and they go deep. Probably one of their top players to look at, Jackson Wiley, gets past the coverage and gets a little bit of a cushion deep there and scores.
So now the extra point attempt is he's got to get his gloves off again. Get movement on the line. That's going to move him back 5 yards for the extra point.
So sitting at it 38-20. Looking to put it to a 19 attempt. Looking to put it at a 19-point deficit.
Now the kick will be from 25 yards out. Hold down, kick is up, kick is solid. Through. Nice job kicking there by Matthew Tobias.
So the Bees have 11 minutes and 30 seconds, and they're down 3 scores.
That touchdown pass. See it go up and just put it right on the money. There's that touch we talked about. And got by his defender. No help on that backside from the safety, and just put it right on the money for the score. Just nice touch. That's what I saw in the game film. Look at him. I haven't seen it much here tonight because they've been so run heavy. But that's the touch that he has and that Penn State liked.
Still within range. Looking at 2 touchdowns and a field goal with the Medina offense, the style offense that they play. Can get a big play at any time, could score at any time. So it'll come down to, you know, maybe an onside kick or being able to stop Olentangy's run game.
But he is, I'm trying to look down on the sidelines to find Stoddard. There he is. He's high-fiving, helmet on. He'll be back out there in this next drive. Could use a kickoff return here. That'd be nice. Fielded at the 2. Looking for a seam. It's Wojak. Finds one. Can he get through it? He does. Now he's off to the races. Is anyone going to catch him?
They are not. And just like that, the worm has turned again. No flags
on the field, and Wojak takes it 99 yards. Second week in a row that's now happened to Olentangy. 99 yards both times.
Well, how about that answer, Jared? Now we're down to 2 scores.
I would think you're going to see him go for a 2-point conversion here.
We got 11:16 left, and just like that, a few seconds off the clock, and Medina puts 6 up, 39-26. And going to look at the chart here to see whether they go for 2 or they go for 1. You're calling 2, Jared?
Yep.
To get it within 10.
28 would get you to 11, so that would still be 2 scores, right? Yeah. I'm not sure though here. They're sliding. You don't like to see when the coach is telling them to shift positions. What's going on? You got 9 seconds on the play clock.
Good news is Stoddard is.
Wojak steps out. Under pressure, throws it to Wojak, has him wide open. Nice play there by the Bees to get the 2-point conversion.
Nice to see Danny Stoddard back in the game, feeling good, looking healthy, making a great play right there to go-to guy Wojak. And Wojak with the big play to again shift the momentum. Just when you think the Bees might be out, you can't sleep on them because they are a big play team, special teams coming through.
Here. Fielded it at the 1. Then that slight hesitation waiting on that wall to build makes the first guy miss, which is always the kick returners move.
There's 2.
And then now has that seam, and then watch
3,
the Jets just get 4. Turned on. And no, look at them just pull away from these guys. They're trying to take the angle on them. They're not going to catch them. That's the speed of Wojak right there. Takes it 99 yards to the house, and that's exactly what the Bees needed at the right time to try to get themselves back in it. Now, kick away and play defense. Do you pull the string on that onside kick?
I am seeing the ball go all the way to the hash, and earlier in the game, that ball was about 3 or 4 yards towards the middle, so something might be going on here.
And there's the 2-point conversion. Why not feed it to the man that got you the score on the special teams? Reward him with the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, we are all the way on the hash here, and it might just something looks different here.
There's the onside kick. Nice credit there. That's 62, the big lineman there. Hands team. That's Keegan Lyles there for Olentangy.
Onside
The
kick
lineman
taken
charging
by
the
number
ball
62,
and came down with it.
Keegan
And like I
Lyles.
said, his role wasn't run with it. He fell down right away once he got a hold of it.
Well, he did the right thing, made a big play right there.
That was a good onside kick. Got a good
Right.
hop off the turf.
Needed that ball to go maybe a foot or two left or right, and might be in business.
So the Bees defense goes to work. Ball in their territory. Olentangy 1st and 10. They've established that run game. I would think you're going to see a steady dose of that right now to just try to work some of this clock with an 11-point lead. And there it is, trying to come back. Oh, had him in the backfield but couldn't hang on. Instead, they get 6 yards.
13, Riley Clarkson taking the handoff.
That's Riley Clarkson on the carry again. Good night for him
Picks
handling
up
the
about
football.
5 yards
Picks up
before he's
5.
stopped by Talon Hovey.
Dylan Forster came through, had him wrapped up, needed a little help to come along the way, and
See,
a little bit of an escaper out there.
oh man, I don't know. I thought that nice job by the tackle. I thought he did a move.
Saw a little
but
movement.
he quickly pointed like he was talking about somebody on the line.
Come on, the same formation. The Twins at the top of the screen. Wiley at the bottom. Tight end at the wing, and a tight end
Going
releases
deep
there.
again. We got position this time.
Nice coverage. Nice coverage by Darnell Davis. He stays with Wiley
Yeah,
the entire way that time,
Wiley.
step for step.
He's down now. Wind knocked out of him, I think. But he had position and held that position. That was a nice job defensively.
Have a player down. Camden Sokolowski.
And Sokolowski down. On cramp. I thought for sure the way he dove for that ball, it might have been a getting the wind knocked out of him. But yeah, they're working on a cramp on him right now.
Wiley, the attendant receiver
Interested they took the shot there. I thought as well as they've run the football, they would be sticking to the ground and work the clock a little bit.
there. Well, at 2nd and 5, I mean, probably a good time to do it if you're going to do it.
And how you think coming out of this with 3rd down, you go to it again to move the chains, or you go that end around that they've been running a couple times has worked well for them.
Right, you either have your end around, you have your little flip that they've been doing, you have your counter tray, and you have the inside run where the tight end pulls across. So they have 4 successful run plays they've been running. And
You'll see that one if he's doing that. The tight end will be on the right, and the back will line up left of the quarterback. If he lines up right of the quarterback, they don't do it.
but I would say this is a 90% run play because you're sitting at 3rd. If you pick up,
And you're going to go for it on 4th.
right,
even
you
if
pick up
don't.
anything positive.
Yeah.
And you also have your quarterback counter tray, which can be a fit to defenses because there's really no way that you can have defensive numbers on that play. You almost hope that somebody misses a down block and you could come through from the backside, get to the quarterback.
So Sokolowski works his way off to the sideline. Get a sub in for him, and then 3rd down.
Was that Sokolowski on the coverage there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I mixed that up and I said that was there was 2. So
Yeah, Sokolowski had the inside route and dove, so that's why I was going with him on that coverage. All right, 3rd down and 5 here for the Braves as they wait to blow this in. They're getting Sokolowski cleared. He's clear now.
So we have the tight end to the left. He's releasing. This is a pass play.
Wide open. Bit him on the deep route that time. He played that cushion similar to what we did with Knowles. He took that deep route and came back. And that was Wiley that came down with the reception. Good for a first down.
Picks up a 1st down.
And again, yeah, they went right in. The sub coming in, that's what you do. You go on the attack, and that's what they did. He gave the cushion because he was trying to figure out Wiley that first time.
Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine is proud
Gives him the first
to be
down.
the medical provider for Medina Athletics.
At the Medina
Cleveland
31.
Clinic's team of sports
Block
medicine
running,
specialists
10-18.
understand
Or run on the
athletes.
snap, I should say, sorry.
With many locations throughout Northeast Ohio, specialists can see your injured athlete for a same-day appointment.
Good job fighting to hold his position there. Number 21.
Aiden Ruiz.
Yeah.
Big time solo tackle there, one-on-one.
He was on an island because the tight end took out the other guy on the block. So that was a nice play drawn up by Olentangy, but just a better play there defensively by the
Pass
Bees.
play to Zach Griffith.
And when you're the defensive line and you feel yourself come through that fast,
Yeah.
you know something's wrong. They run that little screen there. You don't see the middle screen that much anymore.
No, you don't. Where you let the line come through.
Yes, you sneak it back out and put it over, but a lot of wide receiver screens are favorable with these offenses now.
They bring the house on the blitz. Are they going to get to him? They
Oh,
do.
yes.
They almost got him to lose the football again.
House of fire
That's
coming off the side.
Garrett Shook, wasn't it? Was it
Yeah,
25?
Garrett Shook again, shot out of a cannon.
Garrett Shook, number 25. Bringing Druckenmeyer down.
Comes in and does the drag down tackle, and that is a enormous play.
Yeah, it is. 9-yard loss and makes it now 3rd and 19. Yeah, 3rd and
Garrett
19.
Shook coming from like the, I don't know if he's a backer that's spread out or coming from the safety spot. I don't know what you want to call him right now, but kind of a hybrid player.
He likes to go to Wiley here, but nope, they're going to keep it on the ground. And
Cooper
good job by the Bees to
Josephic
wrap that
staying
up.
home. Surefire tackle.
Number 8, Cole Kirshner with the handoff.
Cooper J knowing where the sticks are, keeping the guy in front of him. He knows he doesn't have to make a huge play and come up and get early and whiff. Makes a sure tackle.
Olentangy needing to get to the 21 for a first down. 4th down for the Braves.
They're going to go deep here.
See if Medina's going to bring pressure. Right now you've got the 2 big receivers, Wiley and Leach, off to the bottom part of your screen on the TV, our right, but on the screen, the bottom part of your screen.
Right, and you don't want to intercept the ball here with it inside the 5, diving for it. Just want to bat it down.
And there he goes out there, a little out route, wide open. Did he stay in bounds?
I don't think
yes,
he got
a
it.
foot down, and he's right at the chain.
Depends where the stick actually is.
Not sure. Usually you don't want to give up that chain. You'll let him catch it a yard in front and make the tackle.
I want to say he's about a foot short.
That was a big cushion by Darnell Davis.
They're giving it to him, moving the sticks. You know, Jackson Wiley been around football his whole life. His father played for Ohio State and the Dallas Cowboys, so been around football for a long time.
Whistle and a flag. Offsides by the defense again. I think it's on our defensive back playing too tight. Yeah, the official's talking to him. That's exactly what it is. That's the 2nd time in this game that's happened.
It's going to be a 1st and 5. Medina had Olentangy kind of right where they needed him, and a big 4th down play.
Credit to the Braves. They've found a way to battle through the adversity when that happens, and have turned it into positives, like right here, turning it ahead. Another first down as the line continues to push. Well, it's going to be close. We'll see the spot.
Riley Clarkson, the ball carrier.
Yep, they're going to signal the chains to move. And first down.
Cooper Estes in on the tackle.
So technically, they could get a first down just inside the 1. So I won't quite call it 1st and goal yet.
7:24 clock rolling, 39-28. Medina in desperate need of a turnover here.
Yeah, cannot give up the touchdown. There's that flip to the outside. Cuts the corner, cuts back, gets hit, trying to push the pile. Was he going to get in?
Oh,
Pass complete to Jackson Wiley.
ball started to come out a little bit there right at the end, but pushed out of bounds. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 1 or 2 yard line.
Looks like they're going to place it at the 1.
Ray Coleman coming into the game. Now early on, you know, we did have on the QB keep, we did have that dropped snap.
Yeah, we had the great penetration the one time too, but we'll see. They go that power backfield again. There's the give. He just follows his 2 blockers and dives in for another score. Another touchdown by number 9, P.J. Harrison.
Going in for a touchdown.
Extra point attempt coming up, sitting at 45 to 28. Still just about 7 minutes left to play. Snap is back, clean, kick is good.
Trying to look back from my notes. That's his 3rd touchdown on the night, I believe. 1, 2. Yeah, his 3rd TD of the night.
So, kind of getting ready for this 4th quarter drive with 6:58 left to play. Probably need to get a quick score here. Dial up another one from Wojak here would be really nice.
He had Olentangy has 4 high schools down in the area, just near the New Albany area. I think just north of Columbus is where Olentangy resides.
Order your favorites ahead.
One of the other teams came up here tonight. They're taking on Glenville. That's Olentangy Liberty, which if you go back in your history books, that's the team that beat Medina in the playoffs back in November of, test my year skills here, that would have been Chippy Daw was on that team. 2016. So squib kick, they're going to try to keep it away from Wojak. Wojak's still trying to scoop it. Sees a seam down the sideline and just can't get anywhere. He's knocked out of bounds.
That's going to help.
That's going to be a late hit.
That is going to help. That's going to be 15 tacked on.
Yep, put him up at the 40-yard line.
Wow. So Medina can get into their hurry. 2-minute offense here.
Personal foul called against the Braves.
Get a couple early completions, settle in, quick score, and you're right back in this thing.
It's got to be quick, though. You're right. And find a way to, you got to get the turnover, you got to get the onside kick then, too, because this offense is solid here for Olentangy. They'll run the clock out on you.
As long as you're picking up chunks on this drive, you want to pick up 10 to 12 each time, stop the clock. And it looks like.
No, they flipped the wrong official, the wrong ball. They had 2 balls, one's Olentangy's, one's Medina's. They sent Medina's the Olentangy side, and now they've got it straightened out. They're going to put a new ball in play. We still have an official holding one. And we got it off the field now. Now we're ready to go. 1st and 10 from the 40 for the Bees. 6:55 to go here in this one. Nice to see Stoddard back in the game. Back, looking to throw, fires down the middle, and gets picked off. 2nd pick, and now trying to work it for some more as Knowles takes him down. I believe that's the 2nd pick of the game for number 34, Caden Gebhardt. And that should, if they get the offense running like they have, could put the end of the night here for Medina.
Right, that ball, you had an open receiver, the ball just unfortunately a little bit underthrown. And
I got to give it credit. I mean, you've got a team with the offensive firepower that Olentangy has. You've got a quarterback that's a 4-star recruit going to Penn State. But it's a perfect example of looking at game film and trusting what you can do with your game plan. And they've executed it flawlessly here tonight, other than the 1 pick by Holvey, who made a great play.
Right, and I look at Clarkson, 5'7" running back, who's
well, the running backs by committee.
Right, and they're picking up yards, staying behind their blocks, picking up yards.
Throw a little wide receiver screen. Nice job by the lineman to get downfield there. That's going to be good for, well, did he step out? I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
Number 1, Jackson Wiley.
He'll go out at the 26-yard line.
The ball carrier. Garrett Shook.
So Wiley, that matchup, the Wiley-Davis matchup, has been a real challenge tonight, as Wiley, a scholarship athlete playing receiver.
Just a nice job at watching all their backs, how patient all their running backs are to stay behind their blockers until that hole opens up. They've really done a nice job. Medina's tried to stretch the plays out, but just the patience of all these running backs by committee for Olentangy to just be patient and find the seam and then explode forward for positive yards.
Right, it almost becomes exhausting. You're stretching it out, then you have to stretch it out more, then stretch it out more. And it's not like they're sprinting out there. They're squaring up, then moving out, squaring up, moving out. It becomes very challenging.
And just stay patient. They trust their blockers to do their job, and they just wait behind them. There's that flip on the end around.
There's a little block in the back.
That time that was carried by number 14, Sam Ulenig.
Hand off to Sam Ulentangy.
So brings up a 2nd and 2. Excuse me.
Picks up a first down.
First down. First and 10 on the 13-yard line.
So now if you're Medina, you're just trying to find things you can try to build on here for next week when you have Wadsworth coming in. Get a defensive stop here. Try to find those positives you can work from.
Right, you're still playing non-conference games. You need all cylinders firing when you get to the conference. So these games here, like you said, Jared, you find personnel things, you find certain packages that work, certain packages that you want to experiment with, certain coverages. And you just want to have all that ironed out. I mean, obviously you want to win every game, but you want to have that ironed out by conference play.
Watching the sideline there to see the read of the room. And there's the Bees getting that. It's just that. Look at that quickness.
Did you see the back cut? It was like a Barry Sanders backward cut and then cut to your right. That's just very.
Well, just the quickness. You saw how many defenders try to get those ankles, and he just kept the feet moving and made the cutback move. Great touchdown run there by Riley Clarkson. Add to that lead now, 52-28.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Clarkson's running ability tonight. He stays behind his blocks. Like you said, Jerry, he's very patient.
Extra point by Matthew Tobias is good.
Cooper Josephic leaped the line on that one.
Takes the Braves forward to 53.
I saw someone do that earlier in the game and went after it again that time with the athletes we have.
Here's that move right here, like so, right, able to go back and then forward again.
Well, you can just tell by how the DB got planted in the ground, the great cut that he made there to get in there. And how many touchdowns have we seen from them tonight where they go through, not really being touched? I mean, just great work by the line, the guys pulling. Just good work down in the trenches by this Olentangy Braves offensive front.
So Olentangy, after that drive, has 27 first downs on the night. So when you have a nice mixture of run and pass, and
well, and I think you look at the time of possession also, be a telling factor as well. This is squibbed again.
Keep moving the sticks.
Pops up for Wojak, looking for a seam. Starts to cut towards the outside. Trying to outrun one, does. Looks to outrun more, can't. Goes out of bounds about the 28-yard line. Yeah, and I thought it was going to be the night over after the hard hit and the way the score is. You're going to see the backup QB coming down from run.
Jack Wojak taking the hit and running out of bounds.
I think you're going to see, I think even receivers and backs, I think we have all the backups. Wait till they break out. Yeah, it is. So Medina knows wave the white flag. They bring in the substitutes here, and like you said, try to maybe see something with these guys.
Looks like Chris DePasquale will be at the helm here.
There's the flip out. That's the number 17, wrapped up right away. But on the carry, that's
Sidney
Lloyd, yeah.
Sidney Lloyd, number 17, the ball carrier.
So I want to thank all you guys that have tuned in and watched here on our Medina TV Facebook page and watched the replay on Medina TV 201, and have tuned in also on Medina City Schools YouTube page to check out the action here tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Welcome all of you that have watched from Columbus and Olentangy, and those of you that watch from far and wide that are Medina alumni. We appreciate you all tuning in. As that ball is flipped up and caught. All they're going to say is out of bounds. I thought he might have had a foot down. Looking to connect with Brian Wookter.
For Brian Wookter, number 24.
Chris DePasquale escaping some pressure there.
And they're really excited about the future that Wookter has as a sophomore. Just has playmaking ability.
He is extremely fast. He has lightning speed. And anytime you're fast and you can catch, man, being a wide receiver is the perfect thing.
Thrown behind, almost picked off. Or did he get caught? No, incomplete. Yeah, I didn't think he reached over across for it as that was intended.
Looks like we'll probably be seeing the punt team here.
Looking to go to Hayden Shinevi.
They're going to go for it. 4th and 10.
Pass was intended for Hayden Shinevi.
No, I think he's going to punt from back there, isn't he? One of those where you think the quarterback's going to go for it. No. I thought he lined up deeper, but he's not. He's up there. It's got to be a quick kick. No, it's not. He wants to see what his quarterback can do. Has pressure, now running for his life. Is he going to get to the chains?
He did.
He did. What an effort.
Chris DePasquale booking 10 yards right there.
Nice job. Hats off to Coach Laird there. See what his team can give him here.
Excellent
job.
job.
I was with you. I was thinking of a punt because you only give Olentangy the ball and great field position, and that's why Coach is down there and we're up here.
Right, and when you get in this situation, you're the quarterback. You want to compete.
Yeah.
I mean, you're ready to go, and these are good reps because at any time, we always talk about next man up. It could be you, and you need to get these varsity reps.
All kinds of time trying to talk to receivers, getting them moving. Fired at sidearm, but got the ball knocked down.
Pass intended for Hayden Shinevi.
2nd and 10, 2:53 on the game clock.
So it'll be a nice ride home. The hour and a half, hour 45 minutes it's going to take them to get back to Olentangy. Great bus ride home for the Braves tonight. They came out and executed well. The Bees got to quickly go back in the film room and clean up a few things to get ready for Wadsworth next week.
Great move after the catch. Trying to see who that was. Number 16.
Pass complete to Braylon Schramm.
Braylon Schramm on the catch.
Schramm on the catch, yeah.
Stopped by Grant.
If you notice, Chris DePasquale will throw from some different arm angles depending on where the defense is.
Give you a little different look. Although that's the trend now, right? Everyone's watching Mahomes, so you're going to see everyone developing that way. Flipped it up, complete.
Face mask.
Pass complete, number 24, Brian Wookter.
Wookter going up and getting that ball. Again, like you said, Jared, going to be an exciting player coming up here in the future.
With Cooper Tracy.
So coming up on about 2 minutes to go in this one. Medina trying to take the backup squad here and move it down the field for a score. Mean a lot to this team. Confidence for these young guys to get something. If we're going to get a false start on that offensive front. That time they're going to get, I think, Curtis Hartman getting a little head start.
Curtis
Junior,
Hartman.
6'3", 250. It's hard when that big body gets moving a little bit to try to slow her down. Taking the shot deep. couldn't come up with it. What I loved in that play, though, is he got called for the penalty, and then that next play, he blocked like you wouldn't believe.
I was watching this. I was watching the same thing. Curtis Hartman, he just took his guy and moved him a good 7 yards off the line. I kind of focused in on the same thing there, Jared.
That's good. You know, you come back, you make a mistake, you're gonna do your best on that next play. That's a prime example of that. Did a great job. There you set up. It was kind of the coming across. That's about as close as you come to that running back doing the screen.
Catch is made by
number 80, I believe.
Hayden Chenevy.
Pass complete to Hayden Chenevy.
And from what I'm seeing from the younger group here is, you know, Medina's not going to be hurting for receivers in the near future because these guys are running nice routes, making nice catches.
Well, and it's something fun as you work through the system. A lot of guys know they're going to get their touches, and even better, Pasquale looking good at quarterback here as well. Showing some nimble feet there on his own, getting ahead, making a little more manageable fourth down.
Keeping the ball. He was stopped by number 15, Ryan P. Pick up with
injury
about a yard.
timeout for a cramp. Might be an issue of just not being in range. But is this your time? You don't normally get to work your special teams. I know you're down by a lot more, but chance you give your kicker a chance to give a kick in a real game. But here, obviously, I think you're still a little too far out.
You're looking at a with no wind, you're looking at a
51-yarder.
Right, a pretty hefty kick there.
No, I was impressed. I think I'm more impressed by how I was expecting Olentangy to come out just like us, and we're going to be trading blows, throwing, you know, anywhere from 15 to 80-yard passes up and down the field, and they came out and ran a sustained drive offensively with a running game. Not something I expected.
I did not expect it either. I watched a little bit of film. I watched the line. I was not expecting a surge from the offensive line or expecting a steady diet of run.
Pasquale rolling out, now fires. Tried to get his feet down but couldn't hold on to it that time. It was Richter. So that's going to be a turnover on downs, and let's see defensively who we have coming out for the Bees.
Probably going to be taking knee time here with 35 seconds left.
Yeah, so Olentangy goes back. I think they start conference play or close to it. Medina will have Wadsworth. We'll have that game here for you at home next week, and then they head on the road for a tough matchup against Menor that will probably be, I mean, depending how the league goes, but that's usually the leader of the conference comes out of that one.
Do you have a scouting report on Wadsworth, Jared? For
I have not yet. I was going to wait till they had the second game. I do know it'll be community night, so big support out from the community coming to that game. They always have festivities beforehand, and we honor the class of, wait, I got to think about it for a second, 2031, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
They'll be coming across the track and being honored next week, so make sure you tune in for our coverage then. But for now, Olentangy came up, made the hour and a half, 2 hour drive up, and went to work. Came away with a win here, 53-28. A lot of learning curves, I think, here for the Bees. They can have a lot they can go back and look in the game film and things they can work on to get better. Cutting down on the mistakes and then just work on fundamentals as they'll look as Wadsworth heads into town next. So you agree with that assessment?
Right. You know, if you clean up the penalties, you clean up some of those little things, that makes the game go a lot different. And then if you also, on defense, you keep working on that tackling, keep working on that pursuit. And we've known the Medina defense over the last couple of years, like mid-season, you start seeing those 11 guys flying to the ball, and that stuff's going to come. Just ran into a nice group of players with Olentangy tonight, and they were firing on all cylinders, and they made a lot of first downs, wore down the defense, and played a great game.
Yeah, they executed. I believe going back again, I got to look back. Well, they had the offsetting penalty, 3 penalties the whole game.
Right. They were very disciplined tonight.
And they got the job done. So a good win for Olentangy, a building block for Medina as we go through the rest of the season. And Nick, great to have you back. I want to thank Beck Swick, Josh Nass, and Chris Smith, who helped us out with our coverage, as well as Matt Tomek, who was back there giving us all the directing. So a pleasure to have you back this year, and looking forward to having you next week.
Absolutely, Jared. I appreciate it.
All right, for all of us here at Medina TV, thank you for tuning in. Again, your final here tonight, Olentangy 53, Medina 28. Have a great night, everyone.